Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How you killing? How you cooling? How you chilling? Welcome to stream. What's up, our buddy? Hello. It has been far too long, and by far too long, I mean all of like 10 minutes. How is everybody doing today? I hope y'all are doing all right. We are here to do our usual thingy-me-thing.
You are connected as the host.
What is that usual thingy-me-thing?
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Phenomenal. We're here to debate. We're here to argue. We're here to do all of that stuff that you guys like. Welcome to the show. I am Jovan. I'm a leftist, staunchly. Hate this motherfucking capitalist system. Hate these motherfucking, all these other stuff. We are chilling. I saw somebody in the chat said, do you do non-debate calls? We do non-debate calls during office hours, which are going to be during the weekly dump, which happens now Monday nights at 7 p.m. So if you'd like to talk and ask non-debate related questions, Monday night at 7 p.m. is the time to do that. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's read through the topics on the board just so we all have them. 1, MAGA is a fascist movement. Please don't call if you're just going to be like, well, I think everybody's fascist. Great. I don't really want to play whataboutisms today, so only call if you actually want to talk about whether or not MAGA meets the definition of fascism. Number two, we have Trump is a terrible president. Not many people call in about this, I think because they find it pretty hard to defend. But number 2 is Trump is a terrible president. Number 3, ICE is anti-American. Now, please don't call in if you're going to be like, I actually think ICE acts how America's always acted. Yes, I get it. When I say anti-American, I mean that they act outside of what I think America claims its values to be, not what America's values actually are. Please and thank you. Number 4 is, why do you still support Trump? You know, if you do want to call in to talk about Trump, I'm just wondering, like, why? Like, what? You haven't thought about that for more than 3 seconds yet? Number 5, trans men and women are men and women. We talk about this one all the time, so I don't feel the need to like super go into that, but you guys know how I feel about that one. And then number 6 is pro-choice. I am pro-choice. I think that everybody should have the ability to remove a rights violation, and I think a fetus that is inside of somebody unconsensually is absolutely a rights violation, and you have the right to end that rights violation. Those are our topics on the board. We're going to open up the call-in line, so if you do feel like debating any of those topics, our call-in screeners are standing by to take your call and patch you through to me if you want to be patched through, if you're interested in the call. Welcome in. I've got chat pulled up, so I hope you guys are doing well. If you do send a super chat to stream, just remember at the end of stream, we are going to read all the super chats that we receive. So keep that in mind. If you want to say something and definitely get it heard, sending a super chat is the best way to do that. If you want to support the stream, mainly just support the call-in line. That's the primary thing. If you want to support the call-in line, Cash and Venmo are on the screen. Tips are appreciated, never required, and they go towards the call-in line, the call-in screening process. They go so that we can keep that line open and managed. Anyway, what's up, guys? Now that I got all that housekeeping out the way, you guys mind if I play Pokemon while I stream today? You won't be able to see it, but I'm just going to have it up and running in the background because I'm trying to complete the decks. Wait, is anybody playing Pokemon ZA? How much the call-in be? It's like $20 to $30 a day to keep the call-in line open with the amount of callers that we typically get. Is anybody, if you're playing Pokemon ZA, is there anybody who's willing to create a new profile on their Switch 2, roll a new save, and just send me all the Pokemon I need? I need all the starters, one of each starter, and then one of each, like 3 of each starter, actually. Like, I need 3 of each starter, and then 3 of each of the Kanto starters, 3 of each of the other starters that you get from the missions. And then I also need what else? No, I think that's it. Oh, then I need somebody to trade with me. So I can get all the trade evolutions. Are you doing a living dex? Is that what it's called? I just like having one of every Pokemon. You can catch those in the game. Oh, you can? Which ones? The Kanto starters? I haven't found a way. If I can catch the Kanto starters, then golden. I'll just catch more of those. Anyway, what's up? Where are all the conservatives at? What are they doing? Here, let's get some polls started in YouTube to see what the conservatives are doing. Let's start a poll, and we're just going to ask pretty simply. Are you MAGA? Yes. Gross. Or no. Not gross. Dumb poll. Yeah, we're here early today. We're not here early. I'm here at my normal time. It's just people are getting in early. The conservatives are still asleep. Oh, obviously, yeah. Sounds like someone let the world squash their joy and now they hate everyone else who still has it. What? Who are you talking to? Accelerationist Comrade Trump killed conservatives. Accelerationist Comrade Trump is crazy. I'm using Magikarp in my boxes to take the place of Pokemon I don't have, so my boxes just fill with Magikarps. Conservatives are too busy crashing Grinder. Woohoo! Wild. Oh, that was to a MAGA in the chat. Heard. Putting Cheerios as a top 3 cereal is crazy. I can't understand that. Why would like what was that? I can't imagine putting Cheerios in my top. Like, they're Cheerios. They don't taste like anything. Yeah, I know. Cheerios? Which Pokemon game? ZA. ZA. How, like, what? Today's been a crazy day. Have you guys watched the videos that have been coming out, that I've been putting out recently? It's been nothing but people crashing the fuck out, bro. We have had crash out after crash out, G. Mini wheats. If I'm eating cereal, I'm eating cereal that's like sugary. Like that's what cereal is to me. If I wanted oats, I would eat a bowl of oats. But I don't want oats. I want cereal. What the H? Saying Raisin Bran is the superior cereal is like saying white is the superior race. Couldn't be further from the truth. Oh, that was funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. Good job, me. I want to pat myself on the back for that one. It looks like we have nothing but scared MAGA today, guys. Nothing but scared MAGA. We need to come up with a name for when conservatives are too afraid to actually debate. Like, what do we call that? What do we call that? There's got to be a good name we can come up with, you know? Like maggots it's got to be something cowardly, right? Something that shows them as the cowards that they are. Anybody got any suggestions? Scaredy mags? Taco magas? We already have maggots as just like what we call them to begin with. Conservatives, that doesn't tell them that they're scared. I need something to tell them that they're scared. Cowardice is crazy. Like cowardice, but cowardice. That's pretty good. MAGA needs a slur. Yo. Low key. MAGA needs a slur. Low key. That's crazy. MAGA needs a slur is crazy. But I don't know that I disagree. Should we come up with a MAGA slur? MAGA is not a slur. Come on, guys. Slur's got to hit with more salt than that. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs over on Twitch. Unfortunately, can't see who you are because my screen is too small. But thank you for the gifted subs over on Twitch. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I forgot to play music in the background. That's what I was like. It's so quiet because usually I'm bumping tunes in the background. I'm not doing that right now. I should be bumping tunes. I should be bumping tunes. But I'm not. But I should be bumping tunes till we get a call on the call-in channel screener call on the call with the call. That was good. I think I nailed that one. You know? I think I nailed that personally. Now, me personally, I think I nailed that shit. There we go. There we go. Bump some tunes in the background. Chill with chat for a little bit. Gang, gang. You guys know what it is, right? You feel me, right? Right, chat? You feel me, right? You feel me, right, chat? I'm just kidding. Yo, William, thank you for the $5 cash app. Said I cast Vaginas. Crazy. That's wild. Yo, me too. Truthfully. Form of a Vaginas. Where the hell are Dratinis in this game? They must be in like later. I don't have that shit unlocked. We just chilling, dude. We're just chilling until we get somebody. They hated being called weird. Yo, they really did. They really did hate being called weird for some reason. Like that was like the craziest, based on the poll, it's a libtard echo chamber. You're right, dude. I host a debate stream where people who disagree with me call in. Totally an echo chamber. You're right. Holy shit. Fucking big brain over here. God damn. Fucking massive intellect over here, my G. Shit. God damn. Fucking the most brilliant mind of our fucking generation over here. Wait, I think I actually have a Dratini. Wait. I remember getting one on a rooftop. Yeah, someone said it's on a rooftop, and now I'm like, wait, didn't I get one? Didn't I fucking get a Dratini? Oh, maybe I didn't. What the fuck? I want to create animation / YouTube shorts for the cause to suck at writing scripts. Anyone have any tips? Find someone to work with. Steven really doxed himself. Yo, for real, bro. Steven said, I'm going to tell everyone who I am. Taylor, thank you for the Venmo. Taylor said they think cis is a slur because they use trans as a slur. Pure projection. Also, Do you ever listen to Zelda and chill? Not usually, but no, that is true. They think that trans is a slur, so they use cis in the same way. One of the videos I have to make is literally just cisgender is not a slur, you moron. Like just a short little video. You're like, hey guys, if you use cisgender as a slur, you're a fucking moron. You're stupid. You're dumb. Maybe moron. I really like moron. Moron hits. Fucking moron. Fucking idiot. Fucking dumb fuck. Do a nuzlocke? No, I want to complete my decks, bro. What about fact phobes? I mean, that don't hit. It has to roll off the tongue and it has to hit. You guys know this. Come on. Come on, slurs are supposed to hit. I'm gonna call them dumb fucks. Fucking idiots. Oh, what the fuck happened to my music? There we go. Don't be a jerk. I finally fixed my VLC player. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it before, but we got it working now. Call them Dita. No. No, that's just another way to say like the R slur. It's like when Jimmy says redacted, I'm like, you're essentially still saying it, you know? Oh, just straight up call them Nazis. Just like, oh, you guys are Nazis. God damn. Miss Channel, your New York Jovan is a good one, right? Yo, New York Jovan go hard sometimes. Pillow, I see somebody in the screening room taking 5 minutes. Is everything good? Like, is something going on with the process? Like, big fan of calling people goofy. Yeah, no, Goofy's pretty good. Goofy's pretty good. Call them goofballs. Knucklehead McSpazatrons. Right. So maybe we pretend that Squidward is a fireman or some guy in an ambulance. Bro, such a goated show, swear to God. OG SpongeBob, dude. So good. Yeah, for the firemen. All right. We got somebody on board. Looks like we'll be bringing up ERVIN. ERVIN wants to tell me that he does not think MAGA is a fascist movement, so we'll see what ERVIN has to say about that. ERVIN, welcome to the show. If you can hear me, can you please provide me with your age and pronouns?
My pronouns. Look, I'm 40 years old, and I think you hear my voice. I think you probably know what I identify as.
Oh, okay. You sound like a lovely lady. What do you want to talk about, ma'am?
You look like a lovely lady. But
okay, cool.
To the point, ma'am. And I don't really mean that. I'm just having fun banter with you. But to the point of fascism.
I'm sorry, ERVIN. It is a rule. It is a rule in the stream that you have to provide your age and pronouns. So I'm gonna need the answer to that question before we can proceed.
I'm a grown man with children and a wife who's lived a long life, and this whole pronoun thing is kind of new to me.
Thank you for providing me a bunch of nouns
offensive.
And adjectives.
I'm sorry?
I said you just provided me with a bunch of nouns and adjectives. A pronoun is something we use in place of a noun, so we don't have to use the noun over and over again. Man is a noun.
I understand, but that's something you use, and people with cat ears on their headphones.
It is something that I use on my stream. Yep, correct.
Absolutely. I'm a male. I'm a grown man. I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I'm a boy who has 40 years.
You're providing a bunch of nouns. I'm not hearing any pronouns.
But I did say male.
Yes, male would be in the way you use male. Male would be a noun.
Okay, sure. Whichever one identifies with what I just said, because again, I'm 40. This stuff is new to me. You know what I mean?
Pronouns have been a part of the English language
since
whichever
word,
the 1600s, my guy.
One more time, I didn't hear you.
Pronouns have been like a thing in the English language since like, I said 1600s just to be generous, but they've been a thing in the English language since like the 12th century. They're old as shit.
So what do you identify as so that I can be more on point with
we'll do an exercise. You ask me what my pronouns are.
What's your pronoun, sir?
He, him. That's the pronouns I prefer to be called.
You said a man?
No, I said he / him.
He, him. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, those are the pronouns I like to be called. So now I'll ask you.
Thank you for cordially
Irvin, what are your pronouns?
That to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
He and thee, because I'm a god. So THEE. He and thee.
He and thee. Okay. Sure.
THEE.
No problem. Okay, Irvin, you don't think MAGA is a fascist movement. Go ahead and explain to me why you don't think MAGA is fascist.
I guess fascism would be more in line with a dictatorship and things like that. And I believe that the crowd really wants a dictator. I just think they're brainless and they're stupid and they believe everything that a certain person says. But I don't really think they want dictatorship. I just think they're so in line with their leader that they don't care what he does or says. They don't care about his record, his felonies, you know? So no, I don't think they're supporting dictatorship. I think they're blindly supporting a leader. And I was right there with them, with Obama. And I still support Obama. But
wait, they're blindly supporting a leader that is a fascist. I would say if you're blindly supporting a fascist, you're promoting fascism.
Well, no, not exactly. Let's say me and you, we're in a band. Let's say we're musicians and we get signed to Bad Boy Records. Does that make us diddlers, or were we signed to a diddler? You get what I'm saying? Just because the leader is one way doesn't mean that
if we know that P. Diddy is diddling people and we continue to work with him, then we support a diddler. If you're fascist, and if you're a person that supports a fascist, you would be a fascist. You're in support of them.
Well, sure. I just don't think people know for sure what they're supporting until deeds have been done.
Sure, then they ignorantly support fascism, right? Like that doesn't mean they still don't support fascism, right? I'm not going to. They have access to the same amount of knowledge that I do. So them supporting a fascist, when we all have access to the same level of knowledge, I'm not giving them a pass on that.
You think everyone has the same access to knowledge?
Yeah, we all have. Typically, everybody has access to the internet in one way or shape or form. There are some people who might have more hurdles in using it, but like they still have access to the internet.
Sure. Again, my point still stands. These folks are blindly supporting someone who has done some controversial things, but I don't think it's fascism that they support. They support their man.
Well,
two things. Really love their guy.
When I say the MAGA movement, I'm not just talking about people that support Trump. I'm talking about his entire movement. Like everything that Trump stands for can be boiled down into the MAGA movement. His administration, Project 2025, all of the executive orders he's been doing, all of the policies they've tried to pass, the big beautiful bill. This is all essentially up together in the MAGA movement.
Okay, we can be in agreement with that. However, I still believe that some people are led to, let's just say, the slaughterhouse, but they don't know that they're going there because they support their guy and they feel as though my guy is in office, whatever he does, I'm down with it. But I do believe that what you said is also correct. The whole entire movement doesn't absolve the people, the individual people on the ground level from, I guess, supporting fascism. I come from a different trail of thought. You know, I think you can support anything and not realize it until
I think most of the people who are MAGA, who support Trump, are in support of the things he does. They're not like ignorant of the things he does. They know that he's weaponizing and militarizing ICE and using ICE to like violate people's constitutional rights. They don't care. They know that he is attacking free speech in a lot of different avenues. They don't care. They're in agreement. They're like, oh, well, you're criticizing Donald Trump, then we need to get rid of your free speech. They don't care. They want Trump to do these things. They want Trump to run for a third term. They want Trump to like unilaterally control power. They want judges to be stripped of their power and it all to go to Trump. They're in support of fascism. They just don't like using the word because it makes them sound bad.
I won't disagree with that. I will not disagree with that. But again, I'm just saying the people on the ground level who really want their guy, they just want their guy. They may not want the policies. And for example, when I go scrolling on YouTube, right, and I see certain Republicans, they say they're waking up to who this guy really is and blah, 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 blah. Most people on the right don't support racism, sexism, classism, religious persecutions, gender discrimination,
I disagree.
All of those things, all the ills of the world.
I think they fully do.
Your guy is in the office, so you're going to stick by your guy. It's like you won the lottery.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think most people on the right do support these things. They don't like to admit they support these things.
Most?
I think they absolutely, yes. I think most people on the right absolutely support those things. I think the bulk of the right now, I think more people have moved center. And a bunch of people who are on the right have moved towards center. But I think the right, they fully want a white Christian nationalist country. They all but admit it 9 times out of 10.
I disagree. I think it's a small, at least a fourth or less. I don't think it's a majority that think that way. And we can agree to disagree, but I think it's way less than that. Way less. For example, when Trump got in for a second term, you know, some people were proud that this guy got back in, but that was in disregard of felonies, court dates, rumors about Epstein, this, that, and the third. You're still gonna hold on a second. Let me put this chair up. I voted for Obama, right? Twice. First time I voted. Now, somebody came out and said, well, Barack Obama used to sleep with women or smoke crack, like that one dude said before he disappeared. I would still support Obama because that's my guy. And I'm like brainwashed. I like to watch him walk around. Doesn't matter what he did as far as ending wars or what he didn't do for the black people who put him in office. We're still going to support him because that's our guy. But we never support racism, sexism, classism, or
I would say the right is predominantly behind Donald Trump at this point. Donald Trump only got his entry into politics was racist birther claims. So if you want to sit here and go, well, yeah, these people aren't all racist. That racism wasn't a fucking deal breaker for them. They all looked at someone being openly racist and said, that's fine with me. I think if you look at someone being openly racist and you claiming Obama was from Kenya and demanding to see his birth certificate, he's racist. It was fully racist. There's nothing more to that than racism. And if you look at someone doing that and you go, this isn't a deal breaker for me, then racism is not a deal breaker. You're okay with racism. And I think the only people that are okay with racism tends to be racists. The rest of us don't really fuck with it like that, you know?
So percentage-wise, how many on that side do you think actually are like practicing racist?
I don't think
what percentage?
I don't view racism as like something you have to practice. There's multiple types of ways to be racist. You can be ignorantly racist, where you're just unaware of some things. You can be openly racist.
There we go.
You can be. I don't think the people that voted for him were ignorantly racist. I think they actively saw him doing racist things and they did not care because they care about themselves more than they care about like minority groups. So they're selfishly racist.
Well, you said ignorantly.
Yeah,
and I agree with that one.
Ignorantly racism would be like you used a microaggression and didn't realize it was a microaggression. Right? You did something racist out of ignorance, not like Donald Trump claims Obama's from Kenya and I'm going to vote for him anyway. That's not being ignorant. That is like actively participating in a white supremacist claim that was only being used to delegitimize Barack Obama's presidency.
Okay, but I still want to focus on the ignorantly racist part. Maybe Donald Trump has done some things and said some things that were subliminally racist, and then other times he'll say things that are flat out racist, like shithole countries.
Obama being from Kenya and needing to see his birth certificate, and then saying the birth certificate that was shown was fake, is openly racist. That's all it is. There's nothing else there. That is like just straight racism.
I mean, sure, and I don't want it to sound like I'm supporting racism, but anybody has the right to say, well, yeah, he is a Kenyan. He lived in Hawaii. I'm not saying look for his birth certificate, but
he lived in Hawaii, so he must be a Kenyan. Is a crazy leap. But the problem is, I'm not saying people don't have the right to say these things. I'm saying if you support someone who says these things, you support racism, and if you support racism, you might be a racist.
All right, the ignorant kind, though. That part of your statement, I'll agree.
That's not ignorantly racist. That is supporting blatant racism.
Some of my friends that I work with and, just people in the community, they might not know what racism truly is. For example, a friend of mine was mentioning Charlie Kirk's death, and he says to me, and there's a white guy, and he says, well, people say that he was racist, but he was really not. And then he talks to me for 2 minutes. So then I realized not everyone sees racism as racism or even prejudice. They see it as you're different from my side, so that might be ignorant racism.
This doesn't make them not racist.
One more time? I didn't hear you.
I said that doesn't make them not racist.
Oh, yeah, sure. But it makes them the ignorant kind. You didn't know that you were saying something.
Sure. So, they know that Donald Trump claimed Obama was from Kenya. They know this happened. They agreed with him. They also wanted to see his birth certificate. This is racist, whatever way you slice it.
To me and you, yes. Matter of fact, can I, and you don't have to answer, what's your nationality, sir?
American.
Okay, you don't have to answer that. Fine. But
don't have an answer. Nationality talks about what country you're from. I'm from America.
All right. Are your parents Black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, Caucasian?
Black.
Give me an idea of what you are racially.
Black.
Okay, good. Perfect. Not everyone can vocalize our experiences and talk about race the way that you and I can. And therefore, when you're not of that ilk, you might be ignorantly racist and not realize what you're saying. For example, a girl I work with, I was giving my team some instructions, but one of the words I said rhymed. It was totally an accident. But then she starts bobbing her head. She's like, yeah, I would go ahead and rap. And I'm like, I'm not rapping. Now, to me, that might feel a little racist. But at the same time, when you gather everything, she had every right to say, okay, he's busting some rhymes, even though I look like a rapper, I'm not rapping, but I can forgive you for that mistake. Does that make sense, or is that not a good example?
That would be a microaggression, right? That would be a
microaggression.
Yes.
Okay.
However, claiming Obama is from Kenya is not a microaggression. It's flat out racist. The only reason they said he was from Kenya is because he's black.
Mm-hmm.
They would not have said he's from Kenya had he been any other skin color. He's a black man that they want to delegitimize his claim to American office by claiming he's from a country he had never been to.
I would say, and yeah, for Donald Trump to say that, yeah. But for his supporters, they're kind of ignorant. He himself would say, "I'm really good with
why do we
and Southerners."
infantilize Donald Trump supporters so much? Why do they always get this benefit of the doubt? Like, I'm not going to infantilize these people. They're not stupid, most of them. Like, they're not dumb people who can't put two and two together. They actually believe this shit. And I've talked to enough of them to know that when you actually boil down their beliefs, it comes to the place of, yes, I believe this. I just didn't want to admit I believed it. Like, I just don't understand why they're always given this, oh, come on, they don't know. They just support their guy. No, dude. They agree with the shit he says. Almost all of it.
Well, I guess the older I get, the more I forgive people for their ignorance. People just don't know. It's not that they want to be bad people.
The older someone is, the less likely.
Good.
The older someone is, the less likely I am to forgive them of ignorance. If you're fucking like over the age of 25 and you can't fucking pick up a fucking encyclopedia or some shit, that's on you.
Well, maybe you never. Well, we can agree to disagree on that one. But I think some people are just permanently ignorant, and they love to vote. And of course, they're going to think certain things about the gays, the Muslims, the blacks, the illegals, and this, that, and the third. But it's only because they don't have any black friends. They've never had Mexican experience. So we got to forgive their ignorance because they live in Wayugadoo, Georgia, live in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. You can't blame these folks for not experiencing New York City, LA, Compton.
I can blame these folks. I can blame these folks for walking around and claiming that Obama is a fucking Kenyan based on literally nothing except the fact that Donald Trump said it and Obama is black.
Okay, well, Donald Trump doesn't need to be such a rebel rouser, and he doesn't need to be so conclusive about his suspicions. So, yeah, I'll give you that. I can't even give it to you. You're absolutely right. I won't deny that. But I will give people the leeway to be very dumb, because people are dumb. People are very dumb. But, yeah, all right. I won't take up too much more of your time, but I thank you for chatting with me.
Sure, no problem.
Next time.
Straight up, the infantilization of Trump supporters needs to be fucking studied, dude. It needs to be studied. The birther claims are such bullshit. I know Obama's father's from Kenya. I know that. Obama's not from Kenya. Fucking dumb. The birther nonsense is so dumb, dude. Anyway, next onto the show, we're gonna bring up Next up, we're gonna bring up Mr. Lee. Now, Mr. Lee supports Donald Trump and thinks he's a net positive for America. So we're gonna see how Mr. Lee can explain that one. Mr. Lee, can you provide your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, 36, and he, him.
Okay, and Mr. Lee, you think Donald Trump is a net positive for America. Go ahead and explain why.
Yeah, honestly, when I think of him being a positive, I don't think of it as like he's helping Americans, he's doing, what's right. I think of him as a piece that's being used to kind of destroy America, in a sense. I think that's the only real way that.
If this is just, I'm sorry. If this is just accelerationist, I don't do the accelerationist nonsense. I'm just gonna be so for real with you.
You said what?
If this is just an accelerationist take, I don't do accelerationism. I just think it's ridiculously a privileged take to have as an accelerationist take.
What is that? I'm not sure what that is.
Accelerationism is wanting to see America fall so hard that you say, let's put in the dumbest person in charge who will just basically tank the system so much that America falls and everything falls and we can have somebody else come in and take over. It's accelerationism. All accelerationism does is it just straight up kills It straight up kills people of color, disabled people. Like it just flat out kills them, because what's going to happen is you're going to put somebody in office who puts in policies that harm all of these different groups of people. So yeah, I don't do accelerationism.
Do you think that we need someone to like take his place, or?
I listen, I think capitalism needs to go away. But I'm not willing to kill a bunch of people that are, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not willing to kill a bunch of people who rely on the system to do it.
Absolutely. I would agree with that in a way. You know what I mean? Like in real world war, you know what I mean? Real world change, stuff like that. Like people do get unalived, you know? That's how it is. Like there's no real change that comes through solely like
Mr. Lee, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you disabled?
So
do you rely on disability to like earn a living?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And you're willing to allow a litany of other people just like you to essentially die for the sake of the cause?
Absolutely. 100%. You have to believe in the cause in order for it to actually do something.
I don't think you believe in the cause. I think you play revolutionary. I think people with that sort of take, they just play at revolutionary. They like to use other people as cannon fodder. And that's what will happen if we run to accelerationism. Is other people will become cannon fodder and will mass die. And you know who's not going to be the cannon fodder? Is the people with the resources to keep themselves alive. You're going to have way more disabled people dying than you do have like the rich people dying, because the rich people will be able to hold themselves out longer. You're going to have way more people of color dying than you're going to have white people dying, because the white people are going to be able to hold out much longer. I think it's an insanely privileged take to hold.
Do you think that, like, let's not, because the real, let's say there was a civil war or a revolution or something like that, you know, like, because that has happened in the past, even with people and their EBT benefits, you know. Now, I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't get EBT. You know what I mean? I pay for my food just like half of the other people, you know. But if all of those people do decide we're going to go rob stores, we're going to go break into Walmart and steal everything off the shelf, do you think that there's going to be repercussions for every single one of those people?
I think there's a difference between hoping that people make these choices to fight back against the system and you saying, I think it's okay that these people die, whether they want to fight back or not. I don't think that's comparable.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. No.
You did say that.
I don't believe that at all.
I asked you specifically, is it okay that these people are cannon fodder? And you said yes.
So in the, what I mean to say, first of all, what I want to say is that what you just said, for hoping that people fight back, that's what I'm for. I hope that people fight back. I think that this system is broken. I don't think that we're supposed to be in a system at all. I don't believe that. What I believe, I spent 2 years living in the woods, you know, like truly just living in a cabin. Like that was the best time of my life. I would be more for going back towards that way. But what I'm saying is that if you put everybody on an even playing field, it's not just going to be one side dying versus another. It doesn't even have to be that way.
It will be.
It doesn't.
It will be. A bunch of people are going to suffer, possibly starve, because Donald Trump wanted to swing his dick around and limit SNAP benefits. That's what's going to happen. And you support that and you think that's a net positive for America. It isn't. When insurance premiums go up because Republicans are trying to not extend the deadline for Medicaid subsidies and for the Medicare subsidies and for the marketplace subsidies, people are going to die of medical debt. And you think that's a net positive.
I don't think that people should be paying for that anyway.
Neither do I, but they do. You're talking about what ought be, but we're talking about what is. When you say Trump is a net positive for America, that's talking about what is, not what ought be.
So what I want is to get from what is to what ought be.
The way to do that is not by letting a bunch of people die. Who's going to fucking enjoy the ought at that point?
No, it's not. But what will help is having somebody that everybody loves run them into the ground.
We did that with Reagan. Didn't change anything. We did that with Bush. Didn't change anything.
But through those administrations, people have risen up to speak out.
What?
Like that's through those administrations, through the times of like real hardship, that's when people say like, okay, I've had enough. Like I don't.
Nobody on the right has ever said the right as a whole has never been like, okay, we've had enough. They just keep pushing and further and further into oligarchy.
I'm not speaking towards politicians. Like they only have power because we give them power. Like I'm speaking towards, there's so many more of us than there are of them.
Let me give you an example of how this doesn't work. So oftentimes what will happen is the United States will come into a country and they'll destabilize the shit out of that country. And then they will go, we're going to fuck this country up economically so bad that people start starving and dying so that these people will rise up against their governments that we don't like. And you know what the people almost never do? Rise up against the governments. Instead, they just suffer and try to push through the suffering. That's what's going to happen. It takes a lot of people to do a lot of organizing to get to a point where we can start fighting back. We haven't hit that level of organization yet. Now, if you want to go and start working on organization, great, but putting us into an accelerationist path before we've done that organizing is just going to kill people.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't do this. You know what I mean? I didn't put Trump in office. You know, we can only play the hands that we're dealt. And I do believe in like forming an organization. Like I do believe in that. I train people how to fight.
Okay, but saying Trump is a net positive for America is an insane take.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm 100%. I didn't say Trump is a net positive for America. I'm not even sure what that means. No, I don't believe that. That's not my belief. My belief is that I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe there's a reason why Trump is in office, and through the evidence, through what we're seeing live right now, he is destroying things. Like I'm not making this up. Like this isn't me saying something that I agree. These are facts. You know what I mean? So are you going to be one of the people that just sits there and takes it? Like I felt like you were actually taking a stand just by hosting this conversation. But if all it ever is just a conversation, then like where do we end up? All we are doing is saying what ought be. Like where does the actual change come from? It has to come from someone. It could be coming from you through your conversations and how you're speaking to people and opening up people's minds. But having the closed mind state that all you're doing is talking, that's not going to change anything.
If you think it's a closed mind state, if you think it like this false dichotomy is crazy, it's not one or the other, my guy.
What do you mean?
It's not either we go full accelerationist or we do nothing. It's not one or the other.
No, absolutely. I agree with what you're saying, but the facts are like, would you call what's happening an acceleration? Like, would you call what's happening right now what you're saying shouldn't happen?
What? Do I think accelerationism should happen? No. Because
no.
Do you know who's gonna be
would
fine?
You say,
like right now, like the thought process. Hold on, the thought process.
I'm sorry.
That Donald Trump gets put in office. He makes things so bad that his people see it's bad and they fight back against him. Is not what's going to happen. What's going to happen and what we see happening, okay, what we've consistently seen happen is that these people support him more, and then him and his rich buddies get richer. That's what we've seen happen time and time again. Constantly.
Is that what you think is happening right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you think, and I want to say, like, I'm not big on, fighting. Like, that's not my thing. You know what I mean? I don't disagree with you. Like, that's the truth. I just, I do think that, real change can happen. And if enough people stand up, then that will happen. And I think that you think that too. But what I see, I think that maybe I just see something different that's happening, because what I see happening right now is Donald Trump is in office. There's wars. There's all of the bad things that are just unraveling, falling downhill. And when stuff falls downhill, it hits the base, the bottom level. That's what happens. That's what is happening. So, like, even with the SNAP benefits going away, because of these higher level things that are going on, which, rolling downhill, it hits the base level. What's the base level? Now, people that depend on that stuff can't eat. Do you think that there's more people on SNAP benefits that deserve it or that don't deserve it?
I don't think there's a single people who receives food that doesn't deserve it.
Thank you.
I don't know what this has to do with what we've been talking about.
Yeah, it has everything to do with it, because the basic necessity for humans is to consume, is to eat. So why is that something that can be taken away in the first place?
Because it's never been given. It wasn't taken away. It was never given in the first place.
Well, people receive EBT. They receive SNAP right now, where they did.
No,
so,
the right to food has never been given. All we've been given in America is a right to access to food. We've never been given a right to food, so they're not taking away a right to food. I agree that we should have a right to food, but it's not something they're taking away. It's not something they've ever given us.
Okay. See, and so I get what you're saying. I think that I understand what you're saying. I want to say, from my perspective, like, I don't think that there is no right to food. You're right. But at the same time, like, we live on this earth. Like, there is a right to food. Like, if you grow an apple tree, you're allowed to eat those. You know what I mean? Like, food shouldn't be something that we have to pay for or fight for or starve if the government doesn't help us get.
I just gotta be so for real. This feels so soapboxy. I agree with you. We should have a right to food. We currently do not. I agree with you. Putting Donald Trump in office doesn't get us a right to food. It loses people food. Saying Trump in office is good, or supporting him, or whatever, doesn't do any of this. It just limits the amount of food people have access to.
I agree with that. I do.
Then what? You were talked to by the person who screens the calls, and they write down what you guys say, and they wrote down you support Trump and you think he's a net positive for America. If you don't do any of these things, then I don't know what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. All right. I was listening to your channel, to be honest. And I thought that maybe you were one of these people that was going to bring about some type of a change. So I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate you talking with me.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
I'm going to get some chips. I want some Cheetos. And then we'll continue this once I have Cheetos. Because the fuck? If I have to talk to any more acceleration this, I'm gonna rage, dude. Okay. We'll keep it going. God damn. Next up, we're gonna bring up James. Now, James isn't a Trump supporter, but apparently thinks Donald Trump isn't a terrible president and thinks he's a net positive. So I swear to God, James, if you're an accelerationist, I'm gonna lose my mind. James, can you provide your age and pronouns, please?
Hello, I'd like to say first and foremost, I was doom scrolling, okay? I was doom scrolling the internet. I scrolled down, I saw Jovan Bradley. The first thing I see is call into debate, okay? Call into debate. And I saw these topics, and I see MAGA is a fascist movement, okay? MAGA actually stands for mature adults gaining, okay? Gaining, that's gaining. All right. Trump is a terrible president. I don't understand.
I'm going to fucking blow my brains out. I'm just going to force him to sit on mute. Like an asshole. Like, I'm just going to force him to sit on mute for like 5 minutes like an asshole. It's not even a good Trump impression. Great, he hung up, thank God. Don't be like James. James is a bit of an asshole. Anyway, we'll try the next person. Yo, the screener even went and talked to him a second time to confirm what he wanted to talk about. What a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, we'll try the next person. Coming on now, we have Adrian, who thinks MAGA isn't fascist and thinks that fascist movements have to be about government power to control and prosecute and oppress the opposition, and doesn't think Trump is doing that. Let's see how Adrian defends that. Adrian, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, hello. What's up, Jovan? I'm Adrian Tyler. 30 years old. I'm he, him, male, masculine.
Okay.
I think, for one, I wanted to ask you, I was viewing your live stream a minute ago, but I'm currently in the phone call here. So when you went and got the Cheetos there, are you like a classic Cheetos guy? You hot Cheetos, jalapeno cheddar? What's your snack there?
I do puffs.
Cheetos puffs. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm more of like a hot Cheetos guy myself. I'm typically on the hot Cheetos grind set there. But all right, man. Cheetos enjoyer.
All
Well,
right.
from one Cheeto enjoyer to another, I would say that, I think that, like I told your screener there, I think the fascist terminology it's more of a political dog whistle. I don't think Trump really fits the mold of fascist. I don't think he would be like a Hitler or a Stalin type. I think he's more of really your milquetoast conservative. I think he's when you get down to it, I think he's more of like a business Democrat running under the GOP to get elected.
I vehemently disagree.
I mean,
So
yeah, go ahead.
Just to explain, when I call Trump and the MAGA movement as fascist, I label it based on the 14 characteristics of fascism that Umberto Eco came up with. I would say the Trump administration meets almost all of these 14 tenets, and I believe they haven't reached a peak. But I wouldn't say you're not a fascist just because you haven't reached the peak yet. I believe he is trying to do state control of opposition. This would be him trying to label anybody that disagrees with him essentially terrorists. He labels any major opposition as Antifa, as the radical left. He's labeled the Democrats as radical left, and he labels radical left and Antifa members as terrorists so that he can set up a framework in which he can go after them legally. I believe we're already seeing this played out. They arrested somebody who was supposedly the girlfriend of the founder of Antifa, but we know that Antifa isn't like a centralized organization, so that's just kind of dumb. We've seen the way that they've used this to screw with opposition in the country. So, especially opposition that disagrees with their political stances. We've seen how they use this to take Mahmoud Khalil, who committed zero crimes and had zero disciplinary actions taken to him at Colombia. They use this to strip him of his visa and try to deport him from the country, put him in prison away from his wife and daughter for months, and then try to kick him out of the country. They are clearly and concertedly trying to see how much they can push when it comes to control, and every inch they're given, they decide to take another mile.
All right. Well, I mean, you brought up Umberto Eco's qualifiers for fascism. I would say that, just colloquially speaking, a lot of those qualifiers would really fit the more populist model that I think Trump ran on, especially when you run in a more conservative position. So things like, rejection of modernism, even you could go as far as like the idea of like, quote unquote, the obsession with conspiracy, right? This is more like in line with his right-wing populist voter base. So collective identity, national unity, stuff like these, like even like a strong nationalist ethic, right? I don't think those are inherently fascistic. I think that you would have to do a little bit of work to delineate that from like just his, like I said, his more milquetoast conservative base. And I think that when you look at a lot of his supporters in the right wing, quote unquote, a lot of those people are just like normal conservative people, and they're dissatisfied. But a lot of those people aren't like interested in things like political persecution or on the extreme level, like death camps or anything like that. I don't see it as like, and I keep going back to those examples because that's what we see in history, right? When we see examples of real fascism in history, we see like
you're pointing to pointing to like the end, like fascism at its like later stages. I'm pointing to the beginning of fascism, right? One of the first things Hitler did was not throwing Jewish people in the camp; it was labeling people as enemy of the state, right? And if we want to get into camps, Donald Trump has done this. I mean, look at CCOT. CCOT is rife with human rights violations, with literal torture, all of these things happening at a prison where, quite literally, enemies of the state are being thrown and housed. And the vice president of El Salvador literally said the only reason we're keeping people in CCOT like we are is because the Trump administration is paying us to do this.
Okay, well, wouldn't that also apply to someone like Joe Biden when he talked about MAGA fan base, like the MAGA supporters and fan base being like, evil and enemies of the state as well?
Sure. When did Joe?
You got to be a little.
First of all, hold on. I love a whataboutism. It's one of my favorite things to do. We can definitely handle the whataboutism here. When it comes to Joe Biden Joe Biden never publicly labeled any MAGA group as terrorists. The only group that was labeled as terrorists was the Proud Boys, and I would agree with this sentiment because the Proud Boys were engaging in acts of violence against people in the state. Joe Biden, you want to call Joe Biden a fascist? I probably wouldn't fucking disagree with you. I'd say most American politicians are, but the difference is Joe Biden wasn't jailing his opposition in the way that Trump is in any way, shape, or form. Joe Biden wasn't weaponizing Justice Department to go after his political enemies like Donald Trump has been. Donald Trump literally accidentally sent a text that he was trying to send to Kristi Noem. I think it was Kristi Noem. Accidentally sent a text he was trying to send to her as a Truth Social post in which he was trying to tell her, "Hey, go after these people." I don't know what they've done, but look for something. Go look for something against a political opponent is weaponizing the Department of Justice. Joe Biden didn't do shit like this.
I mean,
I dislike Joe Biden for a lot of fucking reasons. He's a war criminal. He's a genocidal fucking maniac. He is a piece of shit. He didn't do that.
Well, I mean, I guess we would find some common ground in that there would be, both sides of the political aisle would fall under this under this term that, as you've defined it, right? I think, but I would argue that wouldn't be the case when we look at some of the, not all of them, obviously, but a couple of the people that were arrested during January 6th. I think that some of those were politically motivated arrests.
Name me one person that was arrested in January 6th that we did not have evidence about them actually doing the thing in January 6th that they did. Name me one person.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, they were there and they entered the building. Like, I can't give you.
Then why wouldn't we arrest them if they committed a crime? If they were at the Capitol and they illegally entered the Capitol building, then they got arrested. Now we can have a conversation about whether or not some people were either held pre-trial too long or things like that. I'm totally fine having that conversation. But to say their arrests were wrong is just like flat out untrue.
Well, I think that would be part of it inherently, and then on top of it, you have, like you said, I mean, this would be like where the distinctions would come about, where, if these people were let out as a part of a change in the regime, there's something to say there. But I think that a big part of the conversation would be that, like, these people were led into the Capitol. They were funneled into the Capitol by the police. They weren't, not all of them were explicitly held at the door. Talking about 8 minutes of footage from a fucking 4 hour. We have like 4 hours of footage. And
being
waved in. I mean, 8 minutes of being waved in and told, hey, go in here.
After people had already broken in. The police said, we're going to have to minimize violence here. We're going to have to minimize some of this damage. So we're going to let some of these people in instead of, like, I don't know, letting them destroy everything. This is grossly a mischaracterization of what happened at this. What happened?
Well, I mean, if you look at how Trump has employed the same resources, it looks like he's fine with using government force, whether it's ICE or National Guard or whatever, with, to detain people and to keep people out of certain places. So, I mean, and yes, I don't think any
Donald
group
Trump
will
is
be wrong.
okay using the National Guard for anything except stopping people that were chanting to hang Mike Pence. Then he just couldn't be bothered to use the National Guard. Then just couldn't be bothered.
Well, I mean, when it comes to like chants like that, I mean, ultimately, I would disagree with that. Obviously, yeah, I think that's wrong. I think active calls for violence aren't protected in the First Amendment.
January 6th was the entirety of January 6th was an active call to violence.
I mean, I would disagree.
What do you call a group of people marching onto the Capitol building during an official proceeding, chanting that they want to hang the guy who's running said official proceeding, if not a giant act of violence? What do you call the beating of Capitol Police, if not a giant act of violence? What do you call
The beating of
storming? I'm sorry?
Capitol. Go ahead.
No, what did you say?
I was parroting what you said. So the beating of Capitol Police.
Yeah, what would you call that if not an act of violence?
I mean, definitely political dissidence. I think I would take a page from the left's playbook on that.
You wouldn't call that violence.
I would be sure there's an element of violence there.
What's the element of violence?
I mean, the actual fighting with police, obviously. Can't condone that. I don't think any right-minded person would condone that.
Okay, the fighting with police was the violence was chanting Mike Pence while walking through the streets. Was that violence?
I mean, I've already conceded to the threats of death. I don't think that anybody should be, I don't think that's protected under the First Amendment. I don't think that's, you can condone that.
Okay, was breaking into the Capitol, was that an act of violence?
I mean, again, like I said, I think that a lot of that was it was a messy political situation that got out of hand. I think that a lot of the leeway for calling it that was kind of thrown out the door whenever the police made the quote unquote tactical decision to minimize violence by openly allowing people in, funneling them in, waving them in, saying enter in through here. I mean, you can call it what you want on that end, but I think that you kind of lose a little bit of credibility. It's like, at the end of the day, like, if you're going to say it's political violence on one hand, but then you've got videos of uniformed officers waving people in and saying, come through this way, it kind of loses some of its purchase when you say that, oh, this was like an insurrection. This was an attack on the Capitol.
Do you think,
if someone was,
do you think a president, a sitting,
well, just real fast, if there were insurrectionists attacking my home, and like I started waving them into the front door, I said, "Come here. This is where my valuables are." You know, like I think I'd be better off just like standing my ground and like fighting them off, whether I win or lose.
Police officers were being literally like beaten to a pulp, tased, maced, beaten with their own gear. It's a really ridiculous take. But my question for you is, do you think a sitting president, who decides to fight a fraudulent battle in claiming that the election was stolen, present no clear evidence of it being stolen, have his own personal lawyers admitting that they have no clear evidence of it being stolen, or just saying this as a way to get him elected, and that nobody should believe them on these claims, to have a person who is the political strategist of this person say, well before the president did it, that this is the strategy we're going to employ and the strategy we're going to do, then have that president spend months talking about how much it was stolen, how bad everything is, how your country is being taken, then hold a rally where he wants all of these people to show up for this rally on the day the election is to be certified, only to have himself, along with multiple co-conspirators, try to push through fraudulent electors so that swing states went to him instead of the people it actually went to. And then when his vice president does not do this and does not push through the fraudulent electors, send a mob of people marching onto the Capitol shouting, "Hang Mike Pence," which he knows about and is informed of it happening, sits in a room for 3 hours watching it on the news until finally he says, you guys should go home now. When he realizes that there's no way that he's going to get what he wants now. You wouldn't say that this entire plot is a plot bred from fascism?
No, I wouldn't say it's bred from fascism. I would say it's an outworking of the exact same sort of lawfare that was employed during his first term. And I'd say that if it actually had no teeth, and if it actually wasn't, if it was more or less what it was, rather than some big political circus for the masses, I don't think that he would be the current sitting president. I don't think that his current time in office would have been such a nothing burger compared to what it's been made out to be by his political opponents.
You think that his current term in office is a nothing burger?
During his first term, Hillary Clinton talked about the Russian interference with the election to get him into office.
There was a literal bipartisan committee put together by Republicans and Democrats that quite literally found Russian interference in the election. So, like, Hillary Clinton going, hey, I think there might have been some Russian collusion in the. Now, she conceded literally the day after the election, said, I lost, right? I lost, comma. I think there might have been some Russian collusion here. Donald Trump, it's 2025, still attests that he won the 2020 election. You're like comparing shit that is now that there is no fucking that is not analogous. Like, and it's
well, what does that ultimately amount to when the agent of the foreign state, Russia, gets into office not once but twice? Nothing comes about of it. He's not held to account by the same bipartisan political factions, right? What does that actually amount to other than like a political circus?
What are you talking about? The only reason
it was found that there was actual Russian interference that led to the election of Donald Trump in 2020. There is foreign interference in our national elections. You would think that that would amount to something. You would think that there would be some sort of like recourse legally for that, right?
Some recourse legally. I mean, we changed some rules when it came to running campaigns and elections. Not many, but it didn't lead to like nothing.
But then he won again on the back of the 2024.
He won in 2016, right? Biden came in. Yeah. He weaponized his base throughout the 4 years of the Biden campaign so that he'd have a better shot. Mm-hmm. And then Democrats put up a candidate that I don't think was their best option. And he was able to use this to get himself elected a second time. He also didn't has like nothing but
people.
What?
It's the fault of the people, the voting base. Like those new rules preventing. He relied on Russian interference the first time around, and then just so happened to propagandize.
He didn't need the Russian interference the second time because he had Elon Musk. It's literally been proven that Elon Musk used Twitter to get Trump elected by shifting in millions of bot accounts to shift millions of fake stories about the Democrats. Like, he literally had a campaign backer who bought the largest social media platform at the time so he could use it for free advertising to get elected. Not only that, he also had the
just advertising and slogan.
No, it's not just advertising. Running bots on your account, faking profiles so you can push fake news stories because you removed all semblance of verification on your platform except for community notes, and you removed all semblance of this, is not just fucking advertising, dude. This is the most intellectually dishonest shit I've heard all day. Like, I mean, dude, and that's not even touching on. This isn't even touching on really quickly. This is there absolutely were, and this isn't even pushing on the fact that he's had people like Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, who've been backing JD Vance with millions upon millions of dollars, who've been working to delegitimize American news and media. Like, there's a reason why he pushed for the TikTok ban so hard his first term. Right? And he wanted people to lose trust in ByteDance. And now that they did, he could convince them to sell to an American company, which they have. It's going to be owned primarily by Oracle. Oracle is literally a pro-Israel company who literally told their people, if you don't support Israel, get the fuck out of our company. Oracle now owns the TikTok algorithm and 45% of it. Fucking CBS is owned by fucking Larry Ellison's son, putting in charge people who like are like. There is nothing you can see here except this mass amount of control, all done in the support of people who've literally said they want to see our democracy go away. Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin do not want democracy. Like, not ultimately. I mean, they want it gone.
I just wanted to say that, like, when you talk about the Israel lobby, that's a bipartisan lobby. Like, both the establishment Democrats and Republicans support that. It's only the non-establishment, like
holy shit, my dude! It's
the
all
leftists on the ground, like
here,
you,
dude.
that would be anti-Israel.
This
But
shit
like
is all whataboutism.
the Democratic establishment is pro. It's not just whataboutism. It's
no, it is.
a matter of the fact that, like,
you can't go. You literally haven't been able to go. I've already said I don't fucking like the Democrats. I didn't like Joe Biden. Fucking throw his ass in jail for war crimes. Throw Obama in jail for war crimes. You can't fucking say, oh, Trump's also doing this and this is a bad thing. It constantly goes back to, but look at what the Democrats also did. But look at this. But look at that. I don't fucking like when the Democrats do it either. I've been very consistent on that.
Well, ultimately, I just came here to argue that Trump is not a fascist. I think that
I think you've done a bad job.
Part of that, part of that line of argumentation would be the cult of personality dictatorship. And yes, you can argue that he is like a celebrity president, that people are Trumpers, they are MAGA Trumpers for sure. But in 2 years' time, 4 years' time, when there are a new set of candidates on the table, Trump is going to be gone.
Steve Bannon literally said in an interview last week, Trump is absolutely going to be president again in 2028. He said they have their strategy all ready to go. I think they're going to push very hard, and I think his people are not going to say this is wrong. And if they put out a plan that on paper reads legally above board, and a plan that is going to put Trump in fucking office in 2028, all of his supporters are going to be fucking on board with that. They can't wait for that shit.
Have you overturned the constitutional term limits for a president?
We won't know, but they said they have the fucking plan already. Steve Bannon has literally said,
if it's legal and above board. If it's legal, I mean, we've had presidents in the past. Yes, it was just one, but they've had more than 2 terms. So
yes, and that's why we implemented that amendment. That's why we implemented the 22nd Amendment. Like what? We implemented the 22nd Amendment because we had these things happening.
And if they legally overturn that amendment through the proper channels, then what's the argument there? It's part of the proper system. It's part of the democratic system.
Anyway, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you think whether or not they do it legally or not, right? Your whole argument was the cult of personality. And once it's in 2 years, Trump's going to go away and it's not going to be an issue. Unless he doesn't go away in 2 years.
Isn't a dictator. Even if he's elected for 4 terms, the president isn't a dictator.
If you think fascists need to... This is my issue. Why does every single person who comes up to talk about fascism have to make it that, well, it can't be fascism until it finally hits this... Hitler didn't start out as a fucking dictator. He was someone who was running for fucking office. No, I'm sorry. I'm not done here. I'm not done talking here. No, I'm sorry. I'm not done talking here.
Sorry about that. No, go ahead.
They are setting out a plan that has been in the works for years. Project 2025 is 48% complete within a year of Trump taking office. 48% of it has been accomplished policy-wise. They have said numerous times, Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, Stephen Miller, all of these people, Steve Bannon, have said numerous times they are going to make it so that the Republican side never loses office. Now, whether you want to say Trump himself is not the fascist, this movement and this ongoing party, this is why I say MAGA is a fascist movement, because that's the moniker that I've given to these people, is a fascist movement bent on ending democracy and ending the democratic process, because to quote them, they think the country should be run like a corporation with one person as CEO in charge with unilateral power. And they've been working in slowly eroding the systems of checks and balances so they can do this.
Well, again, and I know that you've already said a couple times here that you don't care about the Democrats. I just find that hard to believe that, given the talking points that you've brought up, given that, the type of opposition that you've presented against
Trump. Please address the things I said.
You could be like a liberal centrist. Is that your actual position? You're a non-democratic liberal centrist?
God damn, I'm not a liberal at all. Can you please address the shit I said?
I mean, what's with the, you talk about like the pronoun stuff, you talk about like the anti-Trump stuff. I'm just wondering, like, what's your position if you're not pro-Democrat and you're not part of this bipartisan system, then where do you fall in this?
Where do I fall in what?
The left-right paradigm. Where do you fall in the left-right paradigm?
I'm staunchly to the left. I'm as far left as you can get.
You're a liberal. You're non-liberal leftist.
I'm fully a leftist. Yes, I do not support the system of capitalism.
Well, I got that with the communist statement earlier in the call. But so you're a non-liberal left. What does that look like?
Somebody who does not support capitalism.
Sure.
The difference between liberals and leftists
which
are liberals support capitalism and leftists do not. What does this have to do with any of the stuff I said to you? This has nothing to do with any of the points I addressed. You were instead of addressing the list of things I said to you, we're now talking about what my political ideology is.
Well, we're getting there. Why
do we need to get there? Why can't we just start with the rebuttal?
Because I'm just wondering where on this line that you fall, considering, when I bring up arguments about the other side, you have no problem, like, out of hand, just tossing them under the bus, saying, I don't support the Democrats, I don't support Joe Biden, I don't support Hillary, whatever, fuck them. So I'm just trying to pin down where you actually fall in this paradigm in terms of the discussion. Because ultimately,
I think the Democrats are capitalists at the end of the day. I wouldn't label the Democrats fascist. I would label them capitalist imperialists. And I think that the Democrats, although I think imperialism is fucking terrible and capitalism is terrible, they have never made a concerted effort like the Republicans to erode the democratic process and erode a system of checks and balances that we have in our country. They've not ever tried to do this.
I mean, you don't think so? Like, this would we get into arguments about like mass immigration, the support of mass immigration, which we all know that most of those people vote overwhelmingly Democrat.
It doesn't matter if those people vote Democrat. That's still a Democrat. Wait, I'm sorry. That's a democratic process. Having people come in and voting is a democratic process. If you're here legally, you can vote. The amount of since what is it? I think it's since 2018. There have only been 100 counts of somebody voting illegal. Somebody who was an illegal citizen voting in an election in our country, in local or state or federal, when they weren't allowed to. There's only been like 100 something instances of this. So what the fuck?
I'm not even talking about illegals voting.
Okay, then what is it? If they're here legally, then they're voting. That's part of the democratic process. So I don't know what the fuck that has to do with the erosion of the democratic process. God damn.
Well, I mean, I do believe that that's kind of like sort of like anti the MAGA base, which would be anti this side of the argument.
Holy shit, Eli, we won't even talk about how most people who are here.
I do think the MAGA base is overwhelmingly against. I do think the MAGA base is overwhelmingly in favor of limiting even legal immigration into the country for political reasons, like the disproportionate effect it has on, the voting base.
No, it's because they're fascists and they don't want them. They want a white nationalist country. That's what the real reason is. Just call it what it is.
You use the terms like white nationalist country, and I just don't see that. I don't see that fitting with like the average Trump voter that I've interacted with.
I know you don't.
And maybe that's anecdotal, but I just don't see like white nationalists being the descriptor being used for these people.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know.
So what are we to do with these anecdotal evidence?
If it's anecdotal, I would throw it out because it's anecdotal. It's anecdotal. What do you want me to say to anecdotal evidence?
Well, like I said, I think that the better take away from it is just that they're just normal conservative people. They're not racist. They don't like hate in terms of like a supremacist ideology of like white centrism, right?
Fully disagree.
You got black MAGA voters. Are they white nationalists? Are black MAGA voters white nationalists? Are Hispanic MAGA voters white nationalists?
Yes.
That's silly. That's silly talk.
Nope. Non-white people can be white nationalists. They can support white supremacy. Yeah. I don't know if you know this.
I think that that's like all well and good on paper. I don't think that in real life there's Uncle Ruckus going around promoting white supremacy.
I think there's plenty of that going around, actually.
Do you have any anecdotal evidences of that?
No, I don't use anecdotal evidence to to make.
Do you have any hard evidence of Uncle Ruckus voting for Trump to bring about the fourth vote?
Yeah, I'd say any black person who votes in a person who espouses racist talking points is in themselves supporting of those racist talking points, which would be in and of themselves supporting of white supremacy. Oh,
what about
shocking,
single issue voters?
I would just say single issue voters are fucking dumb, and they're apolitical idiots.
They still qualify as like fascist white supremacists.
But yeah, wait, I'll use a direct hard example. Fucking somebody in the chat said it. Clarence Thomas is a direct hard example of a black white nationalist.
Dave Chappelle.
What?
Dave Chappelle, the Black Klansman.
Clarence Thomas is a Supreme Court justice.
Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court justice, is a black white supremacist. I mean, it seems a bit silly to me. I'm not buying it. Maybe I could be convinced on that. You know,
I don't think I need to convince somebody who thought he was the fucking Dave Chappelle dude. I'm gonna move on now. It's been 30 minutes. Fucking Christ, bro. No fucking shot, dude. Shout out to Adam for the pay to move on. Still never addressed any of the shit I said. It was just all whataboutisms every fucking time. Address the actual shit that I'm saying here, dude. Just once, I want a MAGA person to address the shit I'm talking about. Once. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Why is it that hard to just address the talking points? Haha, 69. Nobody pay anymore on YouTube. Nobody super chat. Let's keep it at 69. Katrina, thank you so much for the Venmo. So thanks for doing what you do and giving me hope and talking points. Thank you so much. Fuck, dude. What is today, bro? Today's calls are something else. What time is it? Okay, I still got time. Unfortunately, I have to leave to go film an episode of Critical Mass today, so I won't be here like super long. Jovan, you have a pay to boot and Cash App. No, I don't. First of all, thank you for telling me. That's really helpful if you guys can if mods can add me on Discord, but I didn't receive anything on Cash App, so I can even show you my Cash App balance is $5. So, I did go on YouTube though, and we took care of it. All right, so next up on the board, goddamn. Next up, we're gonna bring up. What do people want to talk about? I'm just confirming the people that are in the line. You guys heard that last call, and you're still you still want to go ahead, huh? Critical Mass is my podcast. You can find it over on YouTube at Red Mirror Media. We've had 3 guests so far in 3 episodes. 4 guests technically in 3 episodes. Our first episode I interviewed Simon Chong, who's a friend of mine who's a supervising art director on Bob's Burgers. So we spent a bunch of time just talking about Bob's Burgers. Second episode was Arden. So it was just me and Arden hanging out and chatting. Third episode was Chad and what's his sister's name from the Necessary Conditions podcast. They joined for the third episode. And then we're gonna go film an episode tonight. So if you want a Red Mirror Media over here on YouTube, and you'll find those. Haley. I said it before chat told me so. Okay. I need to keep a thing of chips during stream. It really helps out. By the way, if you like this shirt, this is the Solidarity Sauce shirt. It says, turn the heat up on capitalism. If you like this shirt, it's available in my merch store, jovanbradley.com. Created by the wonderful, the absolutely wonderful, the person who does all my art now, Grace. She made this. All right. And I did all of that debate while fucking playing Pokemon. Well, I'll be. Okay, next up, we're going to bring up Matty. Matty is on the line between normal Republican and MAGA and does not think it's a fascist movement. Matty, if you could just provide me your age and pronouns, please.
Oh, hi. Am I on?
You are.
Oh, name is Matty. 21, and I go by he, him.
Okay, Matty. Now, did you listen to any of the call that I just had previously to you? Because if you did, you're going to know what my talking points in this are.
Yeah, I was kind of listening to the last guy. He just wasn't very coherent, so it was kind of hard to follow, but, you know.
Okay. Well, I'll just start from the beginning. I think, Matty, that Donald Trump and the Trump administration and MAGA as a whole, and when I say MAGA, I mean essentially the Trump movement, are attempting to centralize power away from the judicial and legislative branch and push it into the executive branch in a concerted effort to cede power to Donald Trump and to erode our democracies as a whole.
Okay, yeah, I just kind of disagree on it. I just kind of think that mostly everything that's going on right now is just Trump fulfilling his campaign promises in a sense, and people are kind of just getting more outraged day by day, thinking that there's a larger conspiracy that's going on than really is so.
Okay, do you know who Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin are?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, so I'm just going to be upfront with you. I don't operate as if there is some hidden conspiracy. I operate in the outwardly said conspiracy that his supporters, specifically his donors, people like Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin, have said. Peter Thiel is a massively wealthy person. Peter Thiel owns Palantir. He owns like AI systems throughout the country. He is the reason JD Vance is Trump's running mate. He funneled $16 million into JD Vance's campaign as campaign funds. Brought JD Vance to Mar-a-Lago, which is widely documented as the meeting that got JD Vance and Trump to connect and got him his seat as vice president. Peter Thiel is close personal friends with Curtis Yarvin. They've written political works together, basically saying what they want. And what they've said and claimed that they want is they want an end to democracy, and they want America to be run like a corporation with a CEO in charge who has ultimate power. They've openly stated this. Donald Trump has hosted the two of them at Mar-a-Lago countless times. Peter Thiel funds multiple endeavors throughout the government through AI systems. He has multi-billion-dollar contracts with the military in the government. Like this isn't a conspiracy of like, oh, this thing could be happening. This is like outwardly stated by people as what is happening and what they want to happen.
That's just shit. That's just basically what happens in the federal government all the fucking time. I'm sorry for swearing.
I'm sorry. Can you name another time
like
where this
from
has
administration
ever
to administration? It's just clearly campaigners just trying to funnel money from donors. You see it in every single party in every single area.
Matty, can you name another instance? Can you name another instance where anything even remotely close to this happened?
Yeah, during the COVID era with the Democrats, with like big pharmaceutical companies, you saw Bernie Sanders getting like, I think it was like $300 million from Pfizer and Moderna and stuff like that.
Do Pfizer and Moderna have
corporations?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Going in.
I'm sorry. Matty, not to stop you. Do Pfizer and Moderna have outwardly stated goals of wanting to end democracy?
No, but they're stupid
okay.
for saying it out loud.
Do you think that somebody who is fascist would want to end democracy?
Well, who's saying that? Because I haven't heard Trump say that. I've heard just two randos who are giving the money say that.
Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin are backed, are the ones backing Trump predominantly, Elon as well, but Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin, for the most part, are the ones backing Trump. They put J.D. Vance in office. J.D. Vance has quite literally said he agrees with Curtis Yarvin's outlook on politics, which is end democracy and run America like a corporation with a CEO at the head.
I'm just gonna have to look into the facts on that. I don't have enough talking points to discuss that.
Okay,
to be honest,
you are unable to have the conversation about if MAGA is a fascist movement because you don't know enough about what MAGA is like actually doing.
No, I'm just like on that point. I don't know exactly.
That is like the biggest point, my guy. Fascists want to erode democratic processes so they can put one people or a group of people in charge with unchecked political power. Donald Trump.
Yeah, but how are they going to do that though? Like realistically, how are you going to get every single politician to agree on that? And
wait, you don't need all the politicians to agree with it. You just need a large enough percentage of them to disagree with it to change the rules, right? And we've already seen them attempting this. This is why. I mean, they have the Senate, they have the House, they have a control of the Supreme Court. They've been passing rules and legislations that have made it so that power has been starting to be more centralized into the executive as opposed to the judiciary. There's a reason why the Supreme Court passed a Supreme Court ruling that made it illegal for lower district court judges to pass injunctions because they don't want the power to be checked. These aren't random people. This is like people with massive influence in the government. People who are literally spying on you, by the way.
it just, I don't know. It just seems like, God damn it.
He hung up. Oh my God. I'm gonna crash out today. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Dude. Whoa, I am so close to a crash out. It's not even funny, chat. Oh my God. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way, dude. I need straight up. I don't do this often. Fucking y'all, please tip. This has been such a fucking emotionally draining day. Ellie, thank you for the Cash App said thank you for the wait, sorry, I just lost it. It was just right here. Thank you for the intro to Umberto Eco. You're welcome. You should read his essays and papers and stuff. They're really good. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, the $20 to boot just went through, fam. You can have a free one later if you want. Yeah, You just gotta at me on Discord and let me know you're using it so I see it. Oh, he's calling back? Yeah, put him through. Just put him through. Put him straight through to me. If he's calling back, Pillow. Okay, Matty, welcome back.
Hey, sorry.
It's all good, Matty. What were you gonna say?
I got disconnected.
Sure, no problem. What were you gonna say before disconnecting?
Oh, I was just talking about, yeah, sorry, I'm going to have to end the call because I just didn't know enough information to continue the debate. But thanks for having me on.
Sure, I feel like you didn't need to call back to say that, but thank you anyway.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Fun. Well, I do think he actually got disconnected if he called back to say goodbye, right? There would be no reason to call back to say goodbye if you hung up. Oh my God. Holy shit, bro. Gunter, thank you so much for the PayPal. Sorry if that's not your, if you go by a different name, unfortunately PayPal doesn't show me. Jay, thank you for the Venmo, said crash out. What did you say? Crash out happen. Crash outs happen. Yo, true. It's about to. Addie, thank you for the Venmo tip for dealing with today. Thank you so much. Ibby, thank you for the Venmo, said not a pay to boot, just thanks for all the work you do. Thank you. It's nice to be appreciated. And JD, thank you for the Venmo, said thanks for suffering for us all. Oh, the things that I do for my art. Can we get one person that can debate? Fucking on God. Anyway, we're gonna bring up Aaron. Now, Aaron, okay, here's the fun part here. Aaron is MAGA, voted for Trump all 3 times, and thinks MAGA isn't a fascist movement. Aaron, welcome to the stream. Please provide me your age and pronouns, please.
Aaron, he, him.
And your age.
The 33.
Okay, great. Now, Aaron, you are in complete support of Trump. You think Trump is pro-American, not pro-fascism. Why don't you go ahead and state your case?
Yes, I do agree with that, and I would also add the caveat that the MAGA movement is not a fascist movement; it's an American movement. The same things we've been doing since 1776.
You're right. I would agree. The Nazi movement wasn't a fascist movement; it was a pro-Germany movement. That's what you said.
You're right. Nazi movement was a pro-Germany movement, but
was it also
nice
fascist?
is that we're in America.
Wait, was it also
America's
fascist? Though?
Way better than the Nazis.
Yes, at doing fascism, yeah, I think America is a little bit better. Would you say that the Nazi movement being pro? Wait. Would you say the Nazi movement being pro-Germany made it so that they weren't fascist?
No, I'm saying that Nazi Germany during World War II was Nazis.
Something can be pro the country, but also still be fascist.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I would say that MAGA, even though the MAGA movement tends to be pro-American, now it's their version of America, not my version of America. I would say they're still a fascist movement. They are still trying to centralize power into the executive branch, away from the judicial and legislative branch, so they can erode democracy in a way that makes it so they can instill people into power who have ultimate control.
Well, then I guess it comes down to, what do you classify as eroding democracy? Because from my point of view is that the only side that's been trying to erode democracy has been the left. And that has been a constant thing, especially when you're talking about the 2A movement. You're talking about our 2A rights, because if you take away the guns, now I can't back up my ability to say
the only president in recent history. The only president in recent history, well, Clinton, but the only president in recent presidential history that's done anything against the Second Amendment is Donald Trump when he banned bump stocks.
No, but he also, you have the FRT triggers. You also have pistol braces that went through because of him. You also have open constitutional carry. You also have more states doing CCW carry.
Do you think trans people should have guns?
100%. If they are mentally competent to be able and also on top of that,
why was his administration openly saying that they should look at whether trans people should be able to own guns?
I think everybody should be able to own a gun if they are mentally competent and physically fit enough to be able to operate that firearm.
I'm asking you why the Trump administration, this administration that you say is doing better at 2A rights, why his administration openly looked at whether or not trans people should be able to own guns.
Because a majority of them have mental health issues, and then a majority of them are, well, no, I don't want to say a majority because that's incorrect. That's completely incorrect. There is a movement right now of trans shooters. That's a fact.
How many, now let me be careful because the last person that got asked this question got shot in the neck, but how many of any shooting in the last 10 years, how many of them were committed by trans people?
From my knowledge, it's 5.
So 5 people in 10 years.
Off the top.
5 shootings in 10 years.
And that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah. 5 shootings in 10 years is like that's a lot to you? That's this big movement of trans shooters? They got shooters out here with 5 people?
What they're trying to say, though, is that usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay.
Whenever you have people in the trans community calling for and celebrating the deaths of other Americans, and then reiterate, calling for it, actively saying that they should go out and kill people.
Celebrating the death of somebody, saying that somebody should be killed, and celebrating that would make someone like a bad person. That would make like their movement a bad movement.
No, I'm not saying that. I disagree with their actions, and I think that they have issues that they need to deal with.
Okay, so what issues would that be?
It would be, why are you celebrating the fact that this man was murdered on live stream in front of his friends,
why would they
family,
celebrate,
and then the public?
Why would they celebrate the death of someone who said they should be lobotomized and institutionalized? Oh man, who could guess?
What are you talking about? Somebody should be lobotomized.
Charlie Kirk said specifically.
I don't understand what you're saying, so please.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk
elaborate.
said specifically when it comes to trans people, we should deal with them like we dealt with people back in the 40s and 50s, talking about forced lobotomies and institutionalization.
I mean, I do believe that some of them do need institutionalization. Now, lobotomies. That's a little far.
No, my question to you is: if somebody says about a group of people that you're a part of,
did to people, and that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, I would agree. What Charlie Kirk said was messed up. I agree. But if if you have somebody who says about your group of people that they should be treated like people were back in the 40s and 50s, right? We know how mental health was treated back in the 40s and 50s. You know, it was lobotomizing, it was ECT, it was like all that shit.
Did go on.
If someone said that about a group of people and that person then died and you're a part of that group, probably wouldn't give a shit that person died, right? Probably be like, oh well.
Well, yes, I do, because you have the slippery slope.
What's slippery slope?
And that's where. Okay,
what's the slippery slope when the majority of political violence in this country is not committed by people on the left? What's the slippery slope? These same people you're arguing, the same people
exactly
you're
what
arguing
I'm saying is that when one side or both sides are sitting there celebrating the deaths of somebody on either side, is that then it starts to incite people to want to go along on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I think celebrating the death is. I think like individual citizens celebrating death doesn't mean anything. I think when you have major people in your political party and you're in your movement, like is the case with Republicans, who do nothing but actually make credible calls for violence and then engage in those calls for violence, I think this is going to be way worse than a bunch of people going, hey, Kirk is dead, Merk Kirk, LOL. I think it's like a vastly different scenario.
Well, no, it's not. And I'll give you an example. Oh, actually, I'll give you 2. Is that whenever you have people going on social media putting out there the things that they're saying specifically about Charlie Kirk dying, and then saying that now we need to do that to other people on top of that. And then whenever you have hundreds of examples of people getting fired because of the things that they were physically saying, you know, that lends credence to that, and it shows how sick the movement is. And then whenever you have people like Ilhan Omar who do call the deaths for America, who does celebrate.
When has Ilhan
the
Omar
destruction of
ever
our
called
country.
for the death of America?
Yes, she has. She has called for the death of America. She's done it in about 4 speeches.
When? Specifics.
Okay. Specifically, I would say, from my recollection, would have been 2019, and then you have during the election cycle of Donald Trump in 2016. For those that whole entire year.
Here we go. Factcheck.org. There is no credible evidence that Ilhan Omar has ever publicly called for the death of America. Fact checkers show that many quotes circulating online that attribute inflammatory remarks to Omar, including calls for violence or anti-American statements, are fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
So it means they were made up. Someone made them up.
Oh, hey, man, I know what I heard, though, specifically on TV when she said it. And then on top of that, she's supporting people who are also saying the same thing.
Who is she supporting?
And
They're saying the same thing.
And then you have, what's her name? Cortez. Damn, you're gonna have to help me. Ocasio-Cortez. That's what.
Okay.
Is
what
that
about
correct, or am I saying that wrong?
What about AOC?
With the Palestine movement.
What about the Palestinian movement?
That's another giant movement that wants destruction to America.
Okay. What's your proof of that?
All of the oh, damn it. I just lost the word I was about to say. I don't really want to necessarily call them riots because they weren't necessarily riots. It's not parades. Can you help me out? I'm blanking on the word that I want to use. Another word for gathering. What is it? Protest? Protest. Thank you. That's what it is. Oh, with all the protests that have been going on, especially for the last 2 years, with the Palestine movement. Protests? And then on top of that, you have Dearborn, Michigan.
Wait. Hold on. No, they're not trying to enact Sharia law. There hasn't been any push for Sharia law. But there hasn't been. No, there hasn't been. But you just said, I asked you for the credible evidence that the Palestinian movement is an anti-American movement. And you said, well, look at the protests. Okay, I'm looking at them. What proof do you have that these protests are anti-American?
When they're calling for the death of America, when they're calling...
No one's calling for the death of America.
Our soldiers, whenever they're calling for the death of the American people because we are MAGA...
It's not happening.
Yes, that's anti-American.
It's not happening.
Yes, it is, and you're just...
No, it isn't. Show some evidence then, homie. Give some credible evidence.
All right.
Because the only thing you've said so far is look at what Ilhan Omar said, and then I fact check it, and she never said it. I can fact check the AOC one too if you want.
Please.
But what? Why do you care, as someone who's pro-America? Why do you care about a movement that's anti-Israel?
Because as a Christian, my faith is attached to Israel.
Your faith's not attached to all the fucking children being killed in Palestine? You'd rather your faith be attached to Israel, who's doing the child killing? The UN. Right,
you know what?
The UN.
No. Listen, hear me out now.
Here we go.
Now hear me out.
Go ahead.
Okay. As somebody who's actually been to Israel myself, who's been there twice, who's actually gone to Sudan and has helped the people coming across the border when the Sudanese massacres were happening, and you had children being blown up, and then the children being fucking raped and murdered with machetes right across the Israeli border, and all the rapes and murders that were happening in Egypt, and Israel was sending their own forces out there to stop them.
Whoopee.
And now that they're protecting themselves, and whenever you have people that are using children as human shields, because that's what's going on here.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
They use them as human shields and put them in the building.
You're right.
And then whenever Israel comes and says, "Hey, look, you got 2 minutes to get out of the building because it's going to be blown up."
Hey, you know what my favorite thing is to do?
If you choose not to leave,
do you know what my favorite thing to do
choice.
is, Aaron? Do you know what my favorite thing to do is when someone uses a human shield, uses a child as a human shield? You know what my favorite thing to do it when they do that is? Blow through the fucking
I don't think
kid.
you have a favorite thing.
My favorite thing to do. My favorite thing to do when someone holds up a human shield.
Screaming child.
My fucking favorite thing to do.
Because their legs have been blown off.
I'm gonna mute you. It's my turn to talk. My favorite thing to do, Aaron, when someone holds up a child as a human shield, is to say, I don't give a fuck about this, and blow through the kid anyway. Israel has been literally verified by the UN's independent fucking reporting to be committing 4 out of the 5 actions of genocide. 4 out of 5. And you're over here, but I'm a good Christian, so I support Israel. You're not a good Christian. You voted for Donald Trump. You're the worst Christian on the planet. Jesus Christ would literally not be able to stand you. He would flip your table like he flipped the tables of the people in the fucking temple. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Matthew 25, when Jesus says, hey, you know what'll get you guys into heaven? It's feeding the poor. Removing SNAP benefits doesn't feed the poor. It's giving water to the thirsty. Removing SNAP benefits doesn't give water to the thirsty. It's healing the sick. Removing Medicaid and Medicare benefits doesn't heal the sick. It's it's letting in the stranger. Making stricter legal immigration laws definitely doesn't let in the stranger. Oh, it's helping the person in prison, visiting the person in prison. For fully funding fucking for-profit prisons doesn't fucking help the person in prison. And when Jesus Christ said specifically again in Matthew and the sheep and the goats in Matthew 25, that which you do to the least of you, you do to me. He's talking about the lowest members of society. There is no possible way to vote for Donald Trump and think that you are going on in any way, shape, or form in accordance with what Jesus Christ would have wanted. That is a level of cognitive dissonance that I will never be able to understand. Now you may speak.
No, it's because no, it's not that you don't understand it. It's that you just keep lying to yourself about it.
Sorry, do I need to read Matthew 25?
That's not how things are going.
Do I need to read Matthew 25 again?
With the SNAP, for example, with the SNAP benefits, is that you have millions of people that are refusing to work that are able to work.
The bulk of people using SNAP benefits are under the age of 18 and over the age of 60.
Hey, look,
Aaron,
we will just pay you and you don't have to do anything.
You're so stupid here, Aaron. The bulk of people on SNAP. The bulk of people on SNAP, Aaron.
Again, you're just
let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Can't wait for this. Oh, man. Let's pull up the actual numbers.
Please pull it up.
Love this. Can't wait.
Pull it up. I'm waiting.
Can't wait. How much should we place on this? How much money do you want to place on this? I'll place like 50 fucking bucks on this right now.
Oh shit! Hold. Give me 1 second. My dog's walking to the road. 1 second. Hey, get your furry butt back over here. Fuck. I can still hear you, man. I
just want to know. I just want to know how much we want to place on.
Okay, cool. Hey, I can still hear you. I'm just gonna place you on mute because I gotta go grab this dude. He thinks that every time he sees a UPS man, he should get a dog treat.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't know how beautiful it is over your way, but man, it's been such a nice day. Finally stopped raining.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Before we get there, the bulk of people receiving SNAP benefits, Aaron, what is their age demographic?
Yes. Well, I would hope that you would tell me, but I would say maybe from the age of, we'll say a majority. You're saying a majority of them?
Yep.
We'll just go with, 30. Let's go with 30 to 75.
58% of people who receive SNAP benefits are either under the age of 18 or over the age of 60. We should take the food
50%?
58%.
Okay.
The majority of people using SNAP are either children or they are the elderly. Should we be taking food out of children and the elderly's mouths?
Well, where is the parents?
You know what? You're right. I forgot. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said, feed the hungry. Oh, wait. No, don't feed the hungry. Where are those hungry kids' parents? That's what Jesus said. You're right. I totally forgot.
Jesus also taught responsibility.
I totally forgot.
Responsibility.
Not when it comes to feeding people. No, Jesus. No. Jesus did not teach responsibility when it comes to feeding people. Jesus said everybody should be fed. No, he didn't.
Give Caesar what is Caesar's due.
That just means pay your taxes.
Exactly.
Guess what your taxes fucking pay for? Guess what your taxes pay for, dummy? It pays for SNAP, dude. It pays for SNAP.
And that's why a lot of it is getting cut off, because it's all going to people that don't use it for the way it's supposed to be used.
I'm sorry. What percentage of SNAP is fraud? What percentage what's the percentage of fraud in SNAP?
For drugs.
What's the percentage of fraud in SNAP?
People that actually sell that.
What's the percentage of fraud in SNAP?
Yes, because I know what I've seen, and it's
great. I don't care what you've seen.
75%.
It's 11%. It's 11%. It's 11%. The fraud that may exist in the SNAP, they estimate only 11%.
11%.
Hold on. Let me finish. When they look at fraud, they estimate about 11% of SNAP payments go out improperly. And the beauty is, every year they get back the bulk of that. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do.
This is embarrassing. I don't care where you can go. Aaron, I don't care where you go. Aaron,
with a SNAP card.
Aaron, I don't care where you can go. I don't care what you can see. I don't care who you know. Aaron, I don't care where you go. I don't care what you see. I don't care who you know. I don't care where you've been. I don't care about any of this. I care about cold, hard data. And the cold, hard data of it all is you are incorrect. And instead of just admitting, hey, I didn't have all the numbers here, my bad, I was wrong about this, you're like, but I see differently. I see with my own two. That's not the case.
Even if with 10%, even with 10 and 11%, like what are we talking about? $200 million?
Do you know how much we're taking from SNAP in the big beautiful bill? Do you know how much we're taking from them?
What does it comes out to, like? I'm not totally sure, because I can't remember, because I've been seeing a bunch of these numbers out. I know it's over close to a bill.
It's $295 billion.
Yeah.
If we're taking $295 billion, how many kids do you think are still going to be able to access those benefits? How many elderly people are still going to be able to access those benefits?
The ones that need it.
Okay,
and then on top of that, like I said,
unbelievable. I'm out, Aaron. Fuck off. The ones who need it. Every child who's hungry needs it, bro. What the fuck? Ain't no fucking way, dude. These people, bro, functionally just are so stupid. Anyway, shout out to Zach. Zach said, what's that German submarine movie called again? Das something Boot. We hit it. Fuck, bro. The ones who need it. Fuck you. Guess what? If there's only 11% of SNAP is improperly paid, then that means 90% of the people fucking need it. But yeah, you're such a Jesus Christ fan. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said, heal the sick, feed the poor if they need it, give people food if they need it. These fucking wannabe Christians have never read the goddamn Bible. Okay. What a fucking stream today, dude. This is what you guys miss when you're not subscribed to me. You miss all this fucking craziness every day. Do I believe in Jesus? I believe a real person named Jesus might have existed at one point in time. And fun fact, I don't think we should just have these. First of all, every child needs food. So I would say every child should be given food because every child needs food. Okay? Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just a me thing, right? Maybe it's just me that believes this, but I still believe it. Peter Thiel never said he wants to end democracy. You want to fucking bet? You want to bet? How much should we put on that? Hey, Peter Thiel, in his 2009 essay, The Education of a Libertarian, I remain committed to authentic human freedom as a precondition for the highest good. Most importantly, I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. $20? I didn't make the bet, but $20? Maybe 20? Feel like I earned it. Feel like I've earned it. That's all I'm saying. Oh my God, everybody who fucking says when you're talking about democracy goes, America's a constitutional republic, are fucking morons. What do you think a constitutional republic is, you dumb fuck? It's a democracy. Fucking Christ. Republic is literally a type of democracy. God damn. Freedom. We want our freedom. I need to buy some of those things that you can eat Cheetos with without getting Cheeto dust on your fingers. Oh man, what time is it? 1:30. I think I got like 30 more minutes maybe before I need to Huh? Chopsticks. Oh shit, I'm gonna go grab chopsticks real quick. I can't eat with chopsticks, but I'm gonna grab them real quick. Okay. I forgot I got rid of the chopsticks when my dog shit ex-roommate moved out, so I'm going to use a fork. Don't give a fuck. Oh, fuck. Tiffany, are you mad I know the Bible more than you? You can call in if you want. Sorry if I know the Bible more than you do.
Hi, guys.
Oh my God, I found Tiffany's page. Needs to get Coulter to buy some chopsticks? No. Am I eating Cheetos like cereal? Abso-fucking-lutely. Would Cheetos and cereal go hard? If I put milk in here, y'all think that would go hard? She's too scared that she's gonna say something mean. Oh, hey, I Googled what she just said. That 40% of SNAP recipients in New York are non-U.S. citizens or non-permanent residents. And it said there is no credible data supporting that claim. Wow. Crazy. Who would have guessed that she would have said something so incredibly wrong? Except all of us. Crazy. Who would have guessed? I do have two strands. My hair is not moisturized. I haven't even washed this shit in like 3 weeks. And I don't put oil in it. I think what you're looking at is grease. I need to get better at oiling it every morning, but no, it's an R2 droid. She's from Florida. Shit, me too. And I know how to fact check. Well, I'm not from Florida. Okay. Let's move on to the next call. Tiffany doesn't have time to call in. I'm actually going to close the call-in line except for the people that are already on. So this is going to be a fun one. Next up, we have Ben. Now, Ben thinks trans men and women aren't men and women. Ben is gay and wants LGBT to drop the T. And any other sexual orientation, I guess. Oh, because the rest aren't sexual. Well, great, wonderful. Ben, can I just get your age and pronouns, please?
Howdy. 39, pronouns he, him.
Great. Ben, what's a woman?
It's a female.
Are all females women, Ben?
Well, since a female is defined by your sex, which means that you would have the parts, uterus, ovaries, and I know you're going to come up with some edge case, you know, some woman that was born without ovaries or something like that, or, you know, some salamander that changes its sex halfway in life when it's gone through some.
And it was like it was a yes or no question, Ben. Are all female women? It was a real yes or no question.
I would say so. Yeah, all female are women. Yeah.
Okay, so my dog is a woman. My cats are women. 3-year-olds are women.
We're talking about humans.
Nope, I didn't say
we were talking about
Ben. What was the question I asked you? The question I asked you was not are all female humans women. It was are all females women. If you'd like to change your answer, you absolutely can change your answer.
Sure, I'll change my answer to are we qualifying the human race?
Nope, I just strictly asked you are all females women.
Okay, got it. Well, then I guess not.
Okay, so we know that. So when I say what's a woman and you just say a female, that would be incorrect. Got it. Beautiful.
Got it. And you're going to be disingenuous by coming up with gotchas. Got it.
It's not a gotcha.
Great way to start off.
So, fun fact, it's not a gotcha to analyze the logic of the thing you say. If you'd like to, that's why I'm giving you the ability to change what you say, right? If it was a gotcha, I wouldn't let you change the way you defined it, would I? But I'm letting you because I'd like you to learn here. I wouldn't like you to just sit in the ignorance here. So I will ask the question again. What's a woman, Ben?
I mean, I really called in to talk about humans. I didn't call in to talk about
You called in to talk about women, right? You called in to talk about women, right? So you would need to have a definition of woman that is comprehensive and concrete.
Actually, well, maybe you should change your prompt then, sir, because number 5 says are trans men and trans women, men and women.
It doesn't
and
say
I don't
are.
know of any animals. I don't know of
Doesn't
any
say
animals
are.
that can be trans.
It doesn't say are. Well, that's because being trans would be about a gender identity alignment with your sex. And as
You're
far
right.
as
I
we
agree
know,
about that.
animals
I
don't
agree.
have gender identity as far as we know. So yeah, cool. But I
You're
asked
right.
you what a woman is, and which you said was a female. So then I wanted to know what a female is, and you said all female were women. So Ben, keep up.
Okay, got it. I don't want to
Okay.
waste time with you because I actually want to get to a point where we agree on something, and
I
I'd
don't think we're
also
gonna
like
agree
to
on
get
anything.
to a point where maybe I learn something and you learn something. This is like semantics. Like
Ben,
you,
we're having
like,
a
catching me
we're having a
and, like,
conversation about words, Ben. That's inherently a semantic conversation.
okay, man.
Like, you know that, right?
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
Right.
Are you
So,
part
Ben,
of my community? Are
am I
you
part
part
of
of
you-
my community?
Am I gay? No. Am I part of the LGBT? No, I'm not. Actually, no.
No. Okay, got it.
What's that have to do with literally anything?
Would you think that maybe I have the right to have an opinion on this?
Everybody has a right to an opinion. It's just, is your opinion dumb or is your opinion
Got it.
informed?
It might
don't
be a
care that
little
you have an opinion.
like 1% more educated on the topic than you.
I promise you're not.
Okay, got it. Because you have a keyboard in front of you and you can Google like UN data or something instead
Sorry.
of my lived experience of
Lived
39
experience
years
is
on
an
the planet.
education, Ben. Lived experience is an education. What? You said you're more educated
You
than me.
haven't spent
Would you
your-
have more?
you
Do you have
haven't
more
spent
lived
your whole
experience?
life.
Do you have
You
more
haven't
lived
spent your whole
experience
life in my
in the
community. I
LGBTQ
have.
than I do? Absolutely, you have more lived experience. You asked me if about education. Two completely different things. Lived experience and education are two completely different things. Somebody can be way more educated than another person and have zero lived experience in the topic they're educated about. Doesn't mean anything.
For
so
sure.
Ben,
And
let's
I
have the
think you
actual
might be a
conversation
great-
then, Ben.
I think you might be a great jack of all trades is what I'll call it.
Great,
because
cool.
I mean, even on this debate thing, you have up like 7 topics. So you obviously know more than the average person on many topics.
Okay.
I called in to talk about this topic.
Okay,
So,
we're talking
you
about
know,
this topic,
okay.
Ben. That's literally what we've been talking
Huh?
about the whole time. We've been talking about this topic the whole time. So I'm going to
Got
ask
it.
the
Well,
question
I mean,
again,
I'd like
Ben.
to get to the meat of it instead of you trying
The-
to catch
the
me
meat of
on
the
some, like, my dog
conversation-
isn't a female or
The
whatever.
meat of the conversation is, are trans women women? That's the meat of the conversation. So
Okay,
Ben,
got it. Well, I do not think that trans humans, that people that are humans that are trans, I think that they are presenting like a gender, but they are not that sex. And they cannot, therefore, be that gender. They can present as that. They can even think that they're that. But I mean, just because I believe that I'm, you know, like, let's say I'm into like witchcraft or like crystallology or something, just because I believe that drinking out of an amethyst cup doesn't make me drunk doesn't mean that it's true.
Okay,
Like,
Ben,
you know, Romans
Ben.
believe that. Like, you still get drunk.
Okay, Ben, great. So you believe that woman is a category that trans people do not fit into. Trans people do not fit into this category of woman. They don't have access into this category. Wonderful. What is the necessary condition someone must have in order to be a woman? If it's a category with a distinction, and you're saying that it's a category they don't fit into, then there has to be a necessary condition for that category. What is it?
They're chromosomes.
Okay, which chromosomes are necessary for you to have to be a woman?
There's XX and XY. One's male, one's female. No matter what
already incorrect.
surgeries you do, no matter what hormones you take, you cannot change that.
Okay, so already you're actually incorrect on multiple fronts, and I'll explain to you why. First of all, there's more than
Tell
just
me.
XX and XY chromosome pairings. You have XO, you have XXX, you have XXY. We have, I think we're up to 23 different pairings of chromosomes we found when it comes to sexual development. Second, when it comes to whether or not your chromosomes can change, they absolutely can. And we've seen through not only blood transfusions, we've seen through bone marrow transfusions that people who were XX now have XY chromosome karyotyping because they have done this. Now, the third thing you said is that women must have XX chromosomes in order to be a woman. This would be incorrect because we know that there are cases of people with things like Swyer syndrome in which women who not only can get pregnant but can also give birth have XY chromosome karyotyping, sometimes even pure 46 XY karyotyping. So Ben, when I ask you the necessary condition, I'm looking for a necessary condition, and so far I haven't gotten one. So can you provide me the actual necessary condition that is required of someone to be a woman?
Okay, well, if we're going off of belief, that's what I believe. So you can, again, tell me some edge case. I mean, you just, like,
Okay,
to the last caller, you said that since 89%, it wasn't 90, I know you like to round up, since 89% of SNAP is like normal or whatever, there's only 11% fraud, then we just shouldn't do anything about it. So, I mean, on this chromosome thing, I have a feeling if you keyboarded it and looked it up, you would find that like 98.9% of humans are XX and XY. Sure, are there 46, 23, or whatever it is, other chromosomal pairings? It's a rare edge case.
Hey, Ben.
And I have a feeling if we actually did the chromosome analysis on like a whole group of trans people, they would also be XX and XY.
Hey, Ben, what does the word necessary mean, Ben?
So only, wait, necessary?
Yeah, what does the word necessary mean?
It means that it's required.
Yeah. So when I say, give me the necessary condition to be this thing, it means that thing is required. So one example, there could be just one out of 9 billion people. There could be one person that doesn't fit this mold. Your condition falls apart because the exception does actually destroy the rule when we're talking about necessary conditions.
All right. I feel like every single time that we have like a give and take, a back and forth, that you again come up with these like edge case things.
Ben,
and I mean,
holy
this is
shit,
an
Ben.
80-20 issue.
This is so.
Hold on,
this is the most intellectually dishonest you've been in this whole conversation so far. Right? I asked you a very specific question. If we're having a debate, I'm going to ask you specific questions about your belief system. And you believe trans women cannot be women. This means you have a fundamental belief that woman is a category that has exclusions. There are people who cannot be woman, which means in order to be a woman, you have to possess a specific trait that puts you into this category. When I asked you for the trait, you couldn't give me one that there are people that possess that are the people that don't possess that but are still women. So, Ben, if you believe it's an exclusionary category, you have to have the exclusionary trait. That's just how base level categorization works. In all science, this is how categorization works. You can't be a square if you have 3 sides. You have to have 4 sides to be a square. All 4 sides must be of equal length. All 4 sides must have a right angle. These are things you have to be a square. Anything outside of this and you become a different shape. So... what is the necessary condition to be a woman?
So the chromosomal things that you're bringing up have to deal with intersex people. Intersex people are not trans people. So actually, I am correct. So your whole argument just now was about
you don't even understand the argument,
chromosomes.
Ben,
trans
if the
people
category
don't have
can't
chromosomes.
be if the category can't be exclusionary for everyone, then it can't be exclusionary for everyone. Ben, I need you to keep up. I need you to keep up with me really quickly. If I were to say, Ben, listen to me really quickly. Ben, listen to me really quickly. No, Ben, Jesus Christ, you have the worst. Ben, you have the worst logic I've heard all day, and I've talked to some really idiotic people today. And your logic is fundamentally breaking in every regard because you're flailing right now, trying to find an argument that sticks. Not. Yes, you are, and I'm going to explain to you how you're doing it. I'm going to explain to you.
This is why you're going to keep losing elections.
Ben, the subject has. Oh my God, this is what I'm muting you. This is what fucking lazy ass people do every time we have these conversations. Well, but this is why you lost the election. I don't give a fuck about any of that, Ben. We could lose every election for the rest of time. It doesn't mean you're correct because an election was lost. Fucking A, my G. So I'm going to explain to you while you're on mute why your argument is flawed, and maybe we can get somewhere as opposed to you trying to find any sort of life raft because you attached yourself to a sinking logical ship. So when it comes to a necessary condition, if you are going to tell me that there are cisgender women who would not meet your definition of women, therefore would not be classified as woman, but you're going to let them into the category despite not meeting the classification that you gave, then you can't say trans people also can't be let into the category because they don't meet the classification that you gave. It's very fucking simple. A to B to C, Ben. Now, if you want to give me a different necessary condition, I'm going to preface this that you won't be able to, because again, educated on this guy here, me, I know that when it comes to humans, our sexual development is too varied to place a necessary condition on our sexual development. Because unfortunately, you will always have exceptions. You're trying to make a biological essentialist claim, and biological essentialism is a logically flawed argument. Now, Ben, you can now try to give me a different necessary condition if you want, but I promise you it will fall apart.
Pulpit.
Just like the rest. Go ahead, Ben.
Huh?
Go ahead. Now you can talk.
So thank you. So, again, this whole thing was supposed to be about trans men and women, humans. I don't know why anybody watching your show would think that your prompt was about anything other than humans. So you started it off disingenuously. Also, you changed multiple times the points that you were giving towards intersex whenever we're talking about trans. The edge cases that you were speaking of about there's some women out there that might have a different chromosome or whatever, cool. Let them go through medical testing. Those people can get whatever they want to, if they are more this or more that, and they have an issue, I am all for those type of humans being able to live the life that they want to live. But those are edge cases, all right? And by the way, I'm all for trans people being able to live the life they want to live too. We're talking about these like daily things, like somebody being in a changing room, a bathroom, getting student loans, getting SBA loans. No, that's not fair.
Now who's changing
and by the way,
topic,
most
Ben?
of the people,
Jesus Christ, Ben, Ben, stop, because now you're pivoting, Ben. You're just pivoting to other shit.
I don't even.
Ben, you're just pivoting to other shit because you realize your logic is flawed.
Got it.
I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to walk you through.
Pivoted.
It's not a pivot, you fucking idiot, Ben. Jesus Christ. This is the problem with gender critical people. You guys are incapable of following a logic train. Now, Ben, I'm going to walk you through the logic train super slowly. Okay? Okay? In fact, I'll do it super easily. I'll give a syllogism because we have to bring it back. We have to bring it to the base level of the argument. Syllogism. Premise 1. There is no biological trait that makes you a woman. Premise 2. In order to be a woman, that's a second premise. The second premise is there is no biological trait that makes you a woman. So premise 1 will be woman is a sociological category. Premise 2, there is no biological trait that you need to be a woman. Conclusion, trans women can be women. That's my syllogism. Why don't you give a syllogism of your argument, Ben? Give us just a simple syllogism.
I mean, I just fundamentally disagree with your first premise, which is that there's zero biological traits that make women women.
What's the trait then, Ben? What is the trait? Ben, what's the trait? Shut up. What's the trait? What's the trait? What's the trait?
Birthing hips.
Birthing hips. So great. I'm going to mute you again. Birthing hips. Great. We started birthing hips, everybody. So all of the countless women that are born with narrow hips, who have difficulty giving birth, who may need to go through C-sections because they don't have birthing hips. They are not women according to Ben, because Ben said birthing hips is the biological trait needed to be a woman. Thank you, Ben. Such a brilliant argument on your side.
I did not say that was needed to be a woman.
Yes, you did. You want me to replay the tape? Do I need 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 to replay the fucking tape, Ben? I'll replay the fucking tape.
You listed off 3 numbers.
Do I need to replay the fucking tape, Ben?
Your first, dude. I didn't list off what you said.
I didn't list off 3 numbers of things I believe that I gave you a syllogism for the argument. Do you know what a syllogism is, Ben? If you don't know what a syllogism is, I will gladly explain to you what a syllogism is.
I do not know what a syllogism is.
Great.
I don't.
A syllogism is a syllogism.
I'm a dumb MAGA.
It's not about being smart or dumb. It's a term that we use in debate. A syllogism is how you lay out an argument. You give a premise 1, a premise 2, and then based on premise 1 and 2, you give a conclusion. So I gave you premise 1, premise 2, and then a conclusion based on those two premises. Now you do this for your argument, Ben.
And I didn't even get to finish. I said that I disagreed with your number 1.
And you were instantly wrong about your disagreement.
There are no traits. There are no traits. Which the word trait, I don't think means 100%. It means the overall, like the norm. You know, I don't think. I mean, blue eyes are a trait. That doesn't mean that 100% of people have blue eyes.
No, but if I said the only way you can be but Ben, if I said the only way you could be a man is by having blue eyes, would this be kind of stupid of me to say? Yes,
of course,
because there are men without blue eyes. So if I were to say the only way to be a woman, if I were to say the only way to be a woman,
and you ran with birthing hip.
Ben, what's the necessary? If you're going to exclude the category, if the category is exclusionary, there has to be something that you must possess. What is the trait that you must possess?
You know what? Because there are edge cases of women that are born without ovaries and stuff. I would say chromosomes. Chromosomes. Yep.
Ben, there are women born without XX chromosomes. What are they? What's their sex? What's their gender?
And since you are so good at looking up data, maybe you should look up this data because it's literally less than 1.3%.
What's necessary mean, Ben? What does necessary mean, Ben? What does necessary mean, Ben? What does the phrase necessary mean, Ben? Jesus Christ, it's like we're on a fucking repeat. Necessary can have 0 exceptions. There are no exceptions in a necessary. So the minute you say, 0.1% of the population is excluded from this, they don't meet that necessary, but I'll still let them in, then your necessary falls apart. It's illogical. It falls apart, Ben. I would love to come to a consensus here, Ben. I would love genuinely. And listen, maybe I came in a little salty. Who knows? Maybe. But this is getting so frustrating because you don't have a logical foundation for your beliefs. Your beliefs are based around biological essentialism. Okay. Biological essentialism is. Hold on. Let me just finish.
Second thing, which you read off at the beginning.
No. Hold on. Let me finish this, and then maybe we can move to your second thing. Biological essentialism, then, which is the belief that you hold, is that in order to meet a certain gender category, woman or man, you must have some biological trait, and those biological traits grant you access to this category. But the problem is you can't name the biological trait. Therefore, the belief in biological essentialism falls apart. It's an illogical stance. It does not hold.
I guess I just don't believe in 100% of things like that. You know what I mean? I'm more of a person that that goes off of what is like the overwhelming majority. Not even 51%, like, you know, plus 95% kind of thing. So I guess that's where I was coming from. I would have to concede several points that you made that, you know, if I use the word necessary, if I use the word this or that there would be more edge cases than not. But, you know, I'm willing to concede when I don't know something or when I'm wrong on something. I still believe the premise that I said. So
Ben, I just got to be so honest. If I'm talking to someone and this person tells me they hold beliefs and I show them very consistently that those beliefs are not based in any logical framework, and they're just saying, well, I feel this way because I feel this way. That's great.
We're not computers. We don't go off of everything as logic.
Ben,
I mean, I just know that I think that it's that certain things are wrong.
Ben, if you hold a belief system, it should be logical. Yes, absolutely. Your belief system should be logical.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I don't know. I mean, do you want to click me out and have your comment section go crazy that I'm like a dumb gay MAGA or something when I literally am like not even MAGA on like 90% of things. This is one thing that I believe in. You know, I have sisters, I have a mom. Like, it's just an issue that I'm passionate about. So
yes, but you're passionate about the issue.
I don't know what else
based
to
on
say.
based on no relevant data. Based on you're passionate about the issue because it's your feelings. I don't operate on feelings.
I would disagree with the relevant data part. You might want to change what you just said, your language. I would agree that maybe it doesn't go with logic, but relevant data, I would think the data actually goes on my side, bro.
It doesn't, Ben,
so I
at
think
all.
you might want to.
The data absolutely does not go
misspoke.
on. The data does not go on your side at all, bro.
Got it.
Not
Well,
even close.
maybe when you speak in absolutes and saltiness, maybe you can also misspeak. So just pointing it out there. I mean,
Except
I've
I didn't
conceded multiple
misspeak. The
times.
data
You
is
haven't. So
because I haven't said anything incorrect yet to concede on.
you just said that my belief is based off of zero relevant data when that's
Yes.
not true. There's
Yes,
literally
it
tons
is.
of data out there. I mean, how come all these world records are suddenly getting broke? Only
Name me
in
one
women's
world
sports?
record. Name me one world record a trans person has broken.
Look up swimming. Look up track and field.
Yep. Name
Hello?
me one world record a trans person has broken.
Got it. Well, I'm not like that other caller. I have 3 cell phones, so we can
Okay,
both
beautiful.
keyboard it.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
So
Let's see
let's
it.
keyboard it.
Let's see it.
Yeah. And how come trans men aren't breaking any records?
I'm not because
Pretty
trans women
interesting.
aren't breaking records either. Name me the one. Name me a world record of trans people breaking.
Have been changed by trans women. Okay, Veronica Ivy. That's a trans woman. So born male to trans to female. Got the World Cycling Championship win.
In her age
Telford got the NCAA title.
In her age bracket.
But the most discussed
her age
is
bracket.
Leah Thomas's.
Leah Thomas
What?
didn't break a single record that wasn't broken by cisgender women after. All of them were broken by cisgender women.
Okay, what about this Veronica Ivy person?
In her age, she set a record for the 200 meter sprint in her age bracket. That record has been broken in other age brackets by cisgender women.
Before or after?
Before, because they go by age bracket.
So not after. So
because she didn't.
Men
because it's
so biological men that were born man and transitioned to female are changing the records. They are.
The records have been broken by cisgender women.
Before we started allowing trans women into women's sports.
And
you're
after.
right. Yes.
And after.
You're right. Yeah. Women make records and then trans men break them. Yes, you are right.
Nope. And after, my G.
Okay, let's look up.
And in fact,
any of swimmer Leah Thomas's records
Sarah Fader overtook Veronica Ivy's record in literally the same event that she placed it in. Just wanted to
only
throw that out.
Some of her records have been, and they were affected by a 2025 settlement with the NCAA. So actually, you're wrong.
I'm not.
Leah Thomas is still held as the record holder for the individual 200-meter freestyle and the 500-meter freestyle. She still holds the record.
No, she doesn't.
And yes, she does.
No,
this
she
is
doesn't.
Literally on the NCAA's website.
No.
Her 2022
Here's what's so
NCAA
funny.
Division I championship 500-meter freestyle is the record. So. I mean, I'm getting that literally from it. So
I just want to be sure here that you are fully committing to this. You fully committing to this?
I am.
Okay.
Look, you know what you're doing?
So,
you're
no. Hold on. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You are taking a
No, I'm
settlement
not.
that Penn
No, I'm
just
not.
did in July, and you're
No,
changing
I'm
the
not.
goalpost. You
No,
are
I am
changing
not.
the goalpost.
No, I'm not. How could
Yes,
Leah
you
Thomas?
are.
How could Leah Thomas set the record in the 200 when she came in 5th place?
What are you talking about, dude?
She came in 5th place in the 200 in 2022. How did she set the record when she came in 5th place? In the 200-yard freestyle, she came in 5th place. How'd she set the record? 4 people swam faster than her.
I'm reading about the 500-meter freestyle and the 200-meter freestyle, and there was and then in July of this year, Penn actually revoked some of them with a settlement with the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I really don't understand why we're arguing about this. Like, there are trans
in the
women
200
that have changed the records for all time.
In the 200. Fifth
Leah
place.
Thomas 200-meter freestyle record. She won the 500 yard, freestyle event in 2022 before being barred from competing by World Aquatics. Let's go through this swimming career.
So embarrassing, dude.
All right, on the 200, you are correct. She broke a record in the preliminaries, but in the actual race, she showed up in 5th.
Thanks.
In the prelims, she beat a record, but the prelims don't count as the race. So you're right on the 200. What about the 500?
She doesn't have the record in the 500. She doesn't have the record in the 500.
Is that because of the settlement that Penn State did with the NCAA in July? Because,
no,
I mean, I'm reading a record right here.
No, it's because her 500-yard freestyle time was 9 seconds slower than Katie Ledecker's record. It was 9 seconds slower.
That's on the 200. I just read the
that's
same
on the
Wikipedia thing that you're
500.
reading.
That's on the 500. Fuck, dude. Come on.
So your premise is that no trans women have broken any records, that they all got
my premise is there is
by
my
cisgender
premise
women afterwards.
My premise is there's no scientific evidence that shows that trans women are a threat to women's sports whatsoever. There's no evidence of this.
All right, 80-20,
None
bro.
whatsoever.
80-20, bro.
None whatsoever.
80-20.
It requires statistical
80-20.
significance. You can't provide statistical significance, Ben. Thanks for joining us. I hope that you have the day you deserve. I don't give a fuck what you enjoy. Have the day you deserve, my G. Yeah, you're going to be hard-pressed to find someone that's going to beat Ledecker's time. Like, Jesus Christ. There's a reason she's held the fucking record since 2017. Right? Was it 2017 she set the record? Yeah, 2017. 424.06 was her record. Leah Thomas's was 433. So yeah, it sounds like Thomas just was so good. Crazy. My audio's choppy? Oh. I got you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all the super chats so we can go through them. Okay. To the person in the calling queue, do me a favor and call back Saturday because I've done enough calls today. So I'm at my fucking limit. I'll be so honest with you on calls. And we're about at time anyway. I've got a bunch of shit I have to do before podcast. Well, if you're watching this, it means stream went down. And I'm putting this at the end of the video because stream went down. So thanks for watching, I guess.